What's happening, my Nick people? Oh man, we getting back to that we want that old thing back. We're getting back to that winning feeling, man. Felt really good to watch our Knicks go out there and play a really good game against a Milwaukee Bucks team that was determined to give us the business. They came out there. They had I don't know if they had a plan for us, but they definitely came out there and said, you know what, we're gonna take it to this team. And they were, clicking on all cylinders. I think they were kind of excited, excuse me, kind of excited about the fact that they were getting a little bit of help. Some of these guys that they've been used to playing without recently were coming back, and it showed because they were flying, man. That defense, the things they were doing. Um, they definitely came out there with a plan for us, and as far as they wanted to run and get in our faces, and it was affecting us, and we went down pretty quickly. But in the end, we saw the Knicks show a little heart, a little of that. What do you call it? That New York spunk. But yeah, man, there's a lot to talk about. The Knicks did what they needed to do. They did what they had to do because this was a must-win in my eyes to kind of break that 2-game winning streak. So let's get into it right after this. Yeah. So we are back. A nice day to wake up today, a nice crisp Saturday morning. Come out here feeling good, knowing that our Knicks, not only did they win the game, but they won the game in kind of convincing fashion after the fact that they were down by such a big margin. So I don't know. I couldn't be, when you go from feeling a certain way after they lose a tough game to the Toronto Raptors, and then they wind up losing to the Indiana Pacers. Oh man, it just puts you in that I don't know, like a funk. Like, man, what's wrong with the world? Everything's wrong. Nothing's right. And then now getting back to them winning ways, you just feel like a certain level of this new energy. Like, oh man, I can live again. But yeah, no, I think this was great, man. This was great to see, and I don't think you could write it any better because it's nice to see them have to deal with a team that is the reigning NBA champ. And the reigning NBA champ came out and kind of smacked you in the face early. So I guess that's what you would expect from a reigning NBA champ. They're supposed to be better than you, even if they're dealing with their own injuries and stuff, and they're not full strength. They're getting healthier. 2 of their key pieces did come back, so that's a good sign. And I'm really excited about the fact that the Knicks, took that punch. They took that blow from that team, like withstood what was going on, because Milwaukee is no joke, man. Milwaukee's struggling right now, but on any given day, any given night, they can get it together and put up some nice numbers and really go out there and give it to the other team, regardless of what injuries they have and things they're dealing with. So it was nice. Knicks could have folded, in that first quarter when things started to get crazy going into the second quarter. Knicks could have definitely folded. They could have packed it in and said, you know what? We see why you guys won the championship. And they could have just packed it in and gave half effort and not really done what they needed to do to secure the victory. So big credit to them. Salute to them for going out there and doing what they needed to do. So Um, let's see here. Pull this up. Make sure that we got the right thing here. Just double checking. Our New York Knickerbockers were doing a damn thing. It's Friday. Yep, that is correct. So final score was New York Knicks. Oh, sorry. Foreshadowing. Sorry. Let me change that real quick. Uh-oh. There we go. It's like a bad omen right there. Bam. There we go. New York Knicks beat the Milwaukee Bucks 113-98. And let me see. Let me give you one of them corny ESPN stats that they love to throw out there that not many people care about. But I'm gonna give it to you because I'll give you one. Yeah. So, I mean, if this matters to anybody, I don't know if it does, but just so you know, in last night's game, the Knicks are the first team since the shot clock era. You know, they love to say that because before the shot clock, crazy things were happening. It was wild out there in the NBA. So the Knicks are the first team since the shot clock era to trail by 19 plus at the end of the first quarter and win by 15. That's historical, folks. It's down in history. It's done. Now, when that they point to it, oh, can a team ever come back after being down this much in the first quarter? Yeah, Knicks did it. Okay, fine. There you go. That's the ESPN stat of the day. Don't expect a lot of those from me, man, because those stats are kind of useless to me. But whatever. I figured I'd share it because you know what? Regardless of the fact, it's going to be in somebody's historical book. All these analytic people, they're going to put that down, and so now the Knicks are the leader of that stat. So there you go. Anyway, yeah, man. So we talked about what's going on with this New York Knicks team, and you know, what did they need to focus on? What did they need to work on to get better? We noticed that their offense had changed over the last few games. They weren't able to do what they had been doing. We've noticed that there's been some poor shooting on our side of things. Guys have been struggling to find their shots, such as Kemba Walker, Evan Fournier. Julius had a couple not so great games offensive. Well, not offensively. Let's say shooting wise, because Julius is still that type of guy that he'll do other things to make sure he gets on the board and affects the game. So I don't want to say that necessarily. We'll just say that he had some poor shooting games as well. But most recently, these past two games, it's been Kemba and Fournier have had tough times. They've had struggles. And then as a team, you know, we haven't been shooting the three well as a team in the last few games. And we've noticed that Emmanuel quickly has struggled too. So there's been a lot that we've had to kind of fix and get right going into this Milwaukee game. And let's not to mention, you know, it's not an elephant in the room because it's obvious. Our defense has not been up to par. Part effort, part maybe part positioning, and also just I'm going to say part effort and part positioning because we're just not in the right position to affect the other team's players when they're doing things to us. And also, it seems like we're indecisive. It's not everybody on the team, but there's certain guys that have been indecisive, especially the bigs when it comes to Mitch or, you know, whoever else like Taj or it's mainly Mitch because he's the starter, but whoever else is guarding some of these stretch fours and stretch fives out there, you know, we've been indecisive as to what we want to do. Are we going to step out and guard the 3-point line, or are we going to stay in the paint? You know, it's kind of, we've been in the middle, and because of that, we've been getting burned. So with all that happening, it's not a shock that the Knicks have lost, had lost the last two games prior to the Milwaukee game. So there were some things we had to clean up, and we had to get right, and definitely make a change. So I'm happy with the fact that they put a much better effort out there, and it was evident. I'm not going to say right from the start, because obviously from the start we were trying to do some stuff, but Milwaukee was giving us the business, and we just couldn't shut them down. And let me tell you, see, this is the type of stuff that I look at and I say, it's not hating. I'm not being envious or jealous. I'm just wondering why not, So a guy like Grayson Allen, who his price tag, I don't think was astronomical. I don't think it was something that was, something that couldn't be afforded. A guy like Grayson Allen is somebody that I think, I wish the Knicks would have went after. And it's not him, it's his type of game. It's the fact that he's a young, still athletic, type guard who plays good defense and can shoot the ball. I mean, that's kind of what we've been looking for, a 3-and-D type guy. I'm happy with Fournier. Don't get me wrong. I just wish that we would have gotten someone who, if we're gonna, it's tough to say, right? Because we went out and got Fournier first, and then we got Kemba, because Kemba kind of fell in our laps. So it's like, how do you pass up Kemba? Homegrown talent. A chance to bring him to the Garden, to New York. What it would do for the fan base. He's still a very adequate NBA player who can shoot and can score in buckets. I mean, in bunches, should I say, like when he's on. It's tough to pass that up. But like, if you knew, whatever, it's tough to talk about, because you can't really call it. Because if you knew you were going to get Kemba, then would you go after Fournier? Would you bring him in knowing that maybe he's not the best defender? Probably not. If the Knicks knew ahead of time, but then again, you know how this whole thing works, guys. Maybe the Knicks did know that Kemba was out there, and they had a good chance of getting him. So maybe this was kind of all, because one thing we can say about this administration, they've been doing things under the radar very nicely. They've always had a plan, and we never really know about it until it's happening. So maybe they had an idea that this was going to happen. They already had Kemba penciled in. And if that's the case, then either way, my point is, if you had an idea or there was a thought that Kemba could be out there and we could bring him in, would you still have gone after Fournier, knowing that he's not the best defensive option? I don't know. It's tough to say, but I guess the best way I could say to fix something like this is, be happy with what you got. Fournier gives us a certain aspect of his game that we haven't really seen yet, guys. We saw a little bit of it in preseason, and maybe in the first game against Boston, but Fournier is a good player. Let me tell you, he's just, right now, he's a little inconsistent. He needs to kind of get comfortable and feel good out there. And we're gonna see some good games from Evan Fournier. And then same thing with Kemba, maybe not in the same way, but Kemba's gonna have some nights where we're like, wow, Kemba did his thing tonight. That's gonna happen. It may not happen as much as we're used to seeing in the past, because I think, maybe there's some differences with Kemba, and maybe that's what Boston saw as well. And that's why they decided to make a change, because while he still can be an explosive scorer, it just doesn't happen as often as it used to, right? So if you look at things like that, then you can say that, these guys can work out, but we got to make sure the rest of the team is right. So last night, it didn't matter. We didn't get anything from Evan or Kemba, really, and we still won by 15 points after being down by 19. So that just shows you that this team can do it. We're looking for excuses. We're looking for, we don't have this, we don't have that. We just played the Milwaukee Bucks with a somewhat healthy team. They're missing some pieces, but they got two pieces back, and Drew Holiday is one of their best pieces. So it's not like they didn't have a team out there that could win games. I mean, they were freaking 4-4. So they had won 4 games without all of these guys, and getting 2 of them back, still the Milwaukee Bucks. Nobody was saying anything when they was beating us by 19 points easily, and the defense was all over the place, and they were hitting threes, and they were making it look easy. So I'm not don't take anything from this victory as a negative. The Knicks went out there and did what they had to do and translated into a nice, convincing, comfortable win. So, I think maybe at some point the Knicks are going to have to make an addition. And I know everybody wants a superstar player. They want to bring in, Damian Lillard or whoever else they can get out there to really go and take this thing to the next level. We're not ready for that. What we need to do is bring in another piece, a 3-and-D guard or a 3-and-D wing, someone preferably with some size that can match up with some of these lengthier players that we've been having to deal with at the guard spot, or even at the small forward spot, whatever. But we bring in one guy like that, just one more guy who can help get out there, who's more of a veteran type. He doesn't have to be an older player, but just been in the league, knows how the game works, knows how to play, knows his role. And I think that makes a big difference for us and gives the Knicks more time to continue to cultivate the young rookies like Grimes and McBride, because obviously they don't want to throw these guys out there yet. They still want them to learn. Basketball it looks easy, but there's a lot that goes into it. It's people say it's just a game for men, playing the game they loved when they were boys. But it's more than that. You do have to understand how the game is played correctly. You got to understand the tendencies, the things that people like, the things that affect people, the X's and O's. You got to know the schemes. You got to understand the plays. There's more to it than just, and the good ones, they know it all and they get it quick. And that's one of the other things that as fans we miss. The guys who know what they're doing out there and who are the best at it, they pick up everything quick. They know everything that's going on. They know the defense. They know the offense is supposed to be playing. They know, it's all easy to them. But as a rookie, you're coming into the league, you're excited, but this is the NBA. You haven't even played all of the teams on the court. You don't know anything about these players and what they like, what they're trying to do to you defensively. And that's, I think, kind of Tibbs' biggest lesson. And that's the reason why he just doesn't throw guys out there. There's just too much to learn still. So, and as fans, we got to be patient. Even though I'm one of the first people that I would Deuce. Like when it comes to the Knicks, my favorite player is RJ. Or the second favorite player and he hasn't done anything yet for me is Deuce, because there's something about that kid. Like I think he's special, and I want to see him succeed. But I also love Grimes, so I want to see both these guys go out there and do some stuff. But just not ready yet. But it's a good sign, guys. I mean, I know you guys, maybe a lot of you have already heard or seen, the Westchester Knicks started their season last night, and Tibbs said that he did not want to send Jericho and Deuce or Grimes to the Westchester Knicks. He wanted those guys on the team still. So that means he feels like he will need them, or there's going to be some type of role that can happen throughout the season where he will use them. So that's a good sign. See here, check out what's going on in the chat. I appreciate all y'all for tuning in. I know it's what is it now, a little after 11 a.m. on a Saturday morning. I hope y'all are enjoying yourselves, relaxing at home or with your families, just taking it easy before you go outside and really set the town ablaze. Give a little Knick content, talk about exciting victory last night. So Delano Steele Jr., what's good? What's up, man? Good to see you. Good to see you. They're the reigning defending champs. Got to respect that status. That's a fact. That's a fact, man. They definitely are. It was a great opportunity for Randle to establish himself as one of the great power forwards in the league today, outperforming Giannis Antetokounmpo. Yeah. You nailed it there, man. I will say this might have been the best game this year for Julius. We've seen Julius have he played really good in that Boston game, that double OT game, and we needed him. But this might have been his best game because of everything involved. The fact that he went out there, and I can't point to Julius doing anything really. I mean, unless I'm wrong, I'm not gonna lie. I was third quarter. I had to go to the store. I was in the supermarket. I was kind of listening and checking the score to see what was going on with the game. So I visually I didn't see what was happening too much in the third quarter. But from what I know from watching those other 3 quarters, Julius played a good game. And I don't think he did anything where I can point to Julius and say, well, I'm nitpicking. I wish you would have done. No, I think Julius played a good game. And against Milwaukee and Giannis, which, I mean, got to give the guy his props. This is what he did last year when he played tougher competition. He stepped up. This year, it seemed like when he played tougher competition or he had rivals like against Sabonis, it kind of got into his head a little bit. And, maybe it kind of took him out of his game because he was going at these guys and kind of a little too focused on the matchup. But last night, I feel like he knew the importance of the game, the national stage, and he did what he had to do. So, Geraldine McIva, salute. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for tuning in as always. Geraldine. I think it's more position than lack of effort. Kemba Walker was staying in front of some of his assignments and still getting scored on. Yeah. No, I think the effort is, well, we've seen these last 2 games. The effort has been there for the Knicks. So the Toronto game, I had a problem with their effort. So you can't really point to how bad they are defensively and what they're actually doing when they're not even getting in front of guys and giving you the effort. Now that they're giving you the effort, now you can kind of look at, okay, well, now that you're in front of the guy, what are you doing? Or what are you not doing? So I agree with you there, DSJ. Canal, salute. Thank you as always, man. It's good to see you. Yes, sir. Pudge Nice in the building. What's up, Pudge? Yeah, I know you're talking about Kemba for $8 million. I'm good. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure you're going back to that as well. Like, yeah, it's a threat. Here we go. Oh, yeah. I'm with you on that. Like, if there was a way to get Reddish over here, without giving up something too crazy to help Atlanta's team, I'm all for it, man. The NBA is different than like other professions. Like, sometimes you got to deal with the enemy. Sometimes you got to deal with the enemy and give them something because you think that what's going to come back to you is going to be that much better. So you don't care about what they got. Yeah, the NBA is a little different with that. So if we got to give up something, to get Reddish from them, that's not too crazy. But I just don't know what Atlanta is still. They haven't got off to the greatest start themselves this season. So I don't know exactly what Atlanta needs and what they'd want from us because, guys, look, we understand that Knox is not going to be a fit for us here right now, right? But I don't think Atlanta necessarily needs Knox. I don't think Knox is the fit for Atlanta. Knox might be able to go somewhere else and be a good fit, and they could use him. But Atlanta doesn't need Knox. So what do you give Atlanta to get someone like Reddish? And mind you, Reddish is playing much better basketball, so he has value for them too. It's not like if we would have tried to get him early last season when he was struggling. That was the time to get him. But now that he seems to have gotten it together, he's playing better basketball. What can you offer them? You offer them Grimes or McBride, one of our rookies, because that's what they want: talent. They want unknown stuff that might benefit them. They don't want Knox. What else we got? Do we give them Burks and watch Burks come back to haunt us? Oh, that just sounds bad. Out there with Rayford, Trey Young. I always say Rayford Austin because Trey Young's real his biological name that the government it's listed on his birth certificate is Rayford Trey Young. So he always makes me think of Rayford Austin. But yeah, man, I don't know how I feel about that. So you got to think about that. Anyway, IQ. Yeah, you're right. That's the thing. Like, if you want Reddish, then IQ probably has to go. Because how I just went through kind of what we do have available, and I'm not talking about our starters. RJ's not going in. Randle, obviously, that would be ridiculous. That's way too much. Like, what we got? At this point, Obi needs to be here. I'm not trading Obi for Reddish. I think that's one of those why. You get Cam Reddish because you're weak at a certain aspect of your game. So you get rid of Obi. Now you got no backup for Julius and no person that helps create transition baskets and push the pace. Nah, we can't do that. Obi's here. Obi's got to stay. RJ's got to stay. So you notice our trade chips are gone down, pretty quickly. We still got draft picks, but would Atlanta just want to give up Reddish for draft picks alone? I don't know. I think they'd probably want something, draft picks are unknown too. And the Knicks are a pretty good team. So in the end of the day, we're not going to be a lottery team. So they know their pick is not going to be a high pick. So there's no guarantees there either. Yeah, I think they want a player and they probably want some type of pick or whatever. But I don't know, guys. IQ might be in that mix. Anyway, DSJ says, I would like to acquire Harrison Barnes. I was saying this. Yeah, Harrison Barnes is a really good piece, DSJ. He's always been a player in this game that has value. He can shoot the three. He's got a mid-range. He's a good free throw shooter. He plays good defense. He's still explosive. He can dunk on you. Like, Harrison Barnes is a good piece. And everywhere he's gone, he's showed value for that team. That's a good piece. I like that. Oh, one half of Still Knick fans in the building. What's going on, John? And once again, y'all, wish my man happy birthday. Yesterday was his birthday, so he's still coming off that birthday hangover. Definitely salute, brother. Salute. We gonna get up and we gotta record our other show soon. So so don't enjoy your birthday fun too much, man. We're gonna get back to work. Canal, when you say what's his contract status? You mean Harrison Barnes? Yeah, I don't know. Okay, DSJ got some info on that. I'll get to that in a minute. John from Still Knick fans, salute. He agrees. He'd like to have Harrison Barnes on the team as well. So yeah, I mean, we're both in agreement on that. That's a nice one. Harrison Barnes has 2 more years on the contract. This season he will earn $20 million, and his last season under contract is $18 million. Okay, so that means someone like Burks has got to go because you need, to match a contract of that nature. That's $10 million right there. So you're still short. So Knox is what? Knox is making somewhere in between, I don't know exactly what it is. It's between 4 and 6 million a year, somewhere in there. So you're still a little short. So we're talking about 3 pieces to kind of make up the difference. I don't know how close you got to be, like within what amount of millions you got to be in order to get the deal done if you're not matching. But as you can see, so Burks 10 million. Even if at the highest point, but I don't think Knox is making 6. I think Knox is making somewhere in between. He's making 4 something or whatever. That's still short. So we're talking about giving up 3 pieces to bring in Harrison Barnes. And what are those 3 pieces salary wise? Somebody else would have to be making a couple million, which I don't know who that would be on the team that we could send. So that's like 3 pieces for Harrison Barnes. And you say, damn, I mean, wow, is he worth that much? I guess he is, because that's a nice nice bit of change he's making there. Salute. You already know, Pudge. The Atlanta Hawks have a type: Cam Reddish, Jalen Johnson, and that's another thing. That's another reason they don't want Knox. You got Jalen Johnson, who might be better than Knox anyway, and he's not even playing that much for them right now. So Cam Reddish, Jalen Johnson, John Collins, and to a degree, Danilo Gallinari seem to be the same type of player: 6'9", 6'10" forwards, right? So I don't know why they would want, Knox, even though he fits into that mold. But I mean, Jalen Johnson isn't even really getting playing time because they've got so much. They've got all these other guys ahead of him that are still contributing. So why bring another guy that you can't use? Especially when you look at the position, the position that they got. Knox is not better than a lot of these guys. All these guys should be ahead of him. So what's the point of the trade? You know what I mean? So that's why I'm just throwing Knox out of there. Yes, sir. The birthday love. Okay. Oh, all right. So look, I was kind of right. Man, $5.8 million contract. Okay, DSJ with the numbers. Appreciate you. So I was right. He was somewhere in between 4 and 6. So that gets us closer to that mark if we were going to do that. But we're still a little short. So I don't know how that works. I don't know if when you add draft picks to it, then the draft picks also have a certain amount of dollar value to them. So it makes up for it. Maybe that's how it works. I've never really studied the trade machine in the NBA. So, ooh, I don't know about that. Could cost us Evan Fournier in a draft pick. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Ooh. I mean, I know guys right now would look at it and say, well, what has Evan done for us so far? Yeah, I do it. No, but I don't know, man. I think Evan's value has yet to be established. Like, he can still create something special for us once he gets comfortable. That I keep saying it, guys. I don't think Evan Fournier is comfortable yet. Unfortunately, we got to wait to see what he can truly provide for us. But that's why there's a long time, still a bunch of time before the trade deadline. And who knows? Maybe he doesn't get comfortable. Maybe it's another month of basketball and Evan is still playing the same way. And then we're like, oh, well, you know what? Maybe this is not a right fit for us, And at that point, I'm willing to say, if it still looks like he's not giving us anything of what we thought he was going to give us, and he doesn't look like he's the Evan Fournier that we've seen that's killed us in the past, then maybe you could throw him in a trade like this. But I mean, of course, hoping that the other team even wants him. But yeah, it's tough. It's tough. We still gotta see, man. We gotta see. It's NBA is funny. It's not like people are giving guys away. Not like they're going to say, hey, here, Knicks, I know you guys need Harrison Barnes. Take him. We'll take whatever you got. So, yeah, you got to make it worth their while. So, all right. Well, the good thing, folks, is that the Knicks did go out there and they played some good basketball. And in turn, the result of that was a win, guys. So, being that there's a win, we have momentum changers. They're back, because it doesn't make sense to talk about momentum changers when we lose, because there's no momentum changing. Just win into a loss. But we actually got something good to talk about, because it was a nice victory. So salute to them Knicks. And let's get into it, man. Let's get into what actually took place out there and the guys that affected that change. So first up on our list of momentum changers, you know, do I have to say it? I mean, you guys may look at the game and say, you know what? RJ didn't have the best of games. His shooting on the night wasn't that good, actually. But I just need you to take a look at what RJ did do out there. All right. RJ had 20 points. He had 7 rebounds. He had 3 assists. And this was on 38% shooting from the field and 28%, well, 28.6% from the 3-point line. He shot 100% from the free throw line in 39 minutes. RJ played a lot of basketball last night, and he didn't have it going, but he was fighting through all of it. And in that effort, he gave us 7 rebounds, which, one of the keys to the victory that I thought we needed to do, I thought we needed to out-rebound Milwaukee because we do struggle on defense. It's tough for some of our guards to stick with these guys and play good defense. And I thought, okay, we can't do that. Let's get after these boards. Make sure we don't give them second chance opportunities. Knicks did a great job of that. Last night, the difference between their rebounds and our rebounds, it was huge. I think we out-rebounded them by almost 20 or around there, or, So we did what we needed to do on the boards, and RJ was a part of that. What I really like about this is the fact that RJ didn't shoot well, and he still finished with 20 points, which leads me once again to that whole point that RJ might be here, guys. He might finally have taken that next step. It's still early. There's a lot of games left to be played, but I think RJ can be a 20-point scorer in this league. And I definitely think he can score more in the future. But I think this is it. I think we're here. I think this, as he continues to have these type of games, he can round out into form and average 20 points a game, which will be a 3-point jump from last year's 17. And definitely another great step in the evolution of RJ Barrett and to him becoming a much better player in this NBA. So yeah, man, he was a big piece of last night's victory. Because he's starting to become a solid player. He's giving you something every night, even when he's struggling. And now if RJ was going good, who knows what these numbers would look like. So keep that in mind, guys. Julius Randle. This is definitely one of the stars of the show. I mean, Julius, after everything that's been going on with him and how he's looked defensively with his effort at moments, how he has looked on the offensive end sometimes with his shot when it's not falling. We've just been getting on Julius, and it's warranted because this is Julius's team, right? He's the man. If you're going to be the man, you're going to have to take all of the criticism, some that's warranted and some that isn't warranted, because Julius is not always the problem here. The problem is bigger. He's always a piece, so he's a symptom of the problem, right? But Julius said, you know what? I'm going to go out there against these Milwaukee Bucks, against Giannis Antetokounmpo, the reigning MVP, against the reigning NBA championship team on national TV, and I'm going to play one of my best games this year. This is our star, guys. This is why Julius is the man. So all those people out there that want to point to Julius and say he's not the answer, or he's not going to have a chance to, he's not going to be in that role to lead us to a championship. Maybe not alone, but he could be one of these pieces. This is who we got. This is why he is that guy, because he puts out effort and puts up, performances like this. So Julius had 32 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists, 50% shooting from the field, 33.3% shooting from the 3-point line, and 70% from the free throw line in 33 minutes. 32 points in 33 minutes. Solid effort from Mr. Julius Randle. It's actually more than solid. It's superb considering you're going up against Giannis for the most part. Kudos to him. And we needed it. And he was solid. He wasn't out there doing crazy stuff. He was he was trying to go, you know, be a part of the game, get his baskets, and not do anything to. I mean, I didn't notice anything that he did that affected the team negatively. You know, obviously he's not perfect. Maybe there was a missed assignment here and there, but this wasn't what we've been talking about when it comes to Julius playing bad. He played good. So big shout out to Julius Randle. Kudos, man. You put the team on his back once again, because that's another reason why he's our leader, because he takes it all. He takes the, you know, whatever's going on right here, right on Julius's back. He takes it. This guy might be the MVP of the game. And probably, no, it's not even might. I think he is the MVP of the game. That's Mr. Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose was everything for us last night. He's the reason why the momentum changed for the game. He is the key momentum changer. He was the catalyst for us going on that run and stopping them on the other end. He just gave us that energy, that fire that we haven't had in a few games. This is the Derrick Rose we were used to seeing last year when he came over in the trade after he got comfortable, obviously, and dealt with his health protocol stuff. When he started to get going, this is the guy we saw, and it's tough for us to continue to expect this from him on a nightly basis, because he's a little older. He's one of the older players on our team, and he's been through a lot of injuries, a lot of surgeries, you know. But when he can give us this, oh man, we are in good shape. So Derrick had 23 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 55% shooting from the field, 33% shooting from the three-point line, 100% from the free throw line in 30 minutes. Now, the number that stands out to a lot of people is 23 points. We needed those 23 points. When the Knicks are going well and they have a chance to beat teams, we need at least 3 guys with around 20 points. You know, you need 60 points from at least 3 guys, because the rest of the team, you know, if they're going well, they can give you other numbers that will add up to that 100 number we like to get to and above. But we need at least 3 to give us at least 20. And Derrick Rose has been that guy for us, where he's always teetering around there. He's usually around 14 to 20. And then we'll get we might get 10 or 12 from Burks or whatever. It all adds up, right? But when he gives us 20, we're in really good shape. But I'm going to point to the 8 rebounds. This is what I'm talking about. I don't expect him to give us 8 rebounds every night, but the fact that he gave us 8 rebounds shows the effort that the guards are making to get on the boards. And that's how we stop these teams from, you know, getting those leads on us, not getting those second chance points. This stops the bad teams as well. A good team is one thing, but a bad team like Orlando, when Cole Anthony had 16 rebounds on us, that's never supposed to happen. He's not even that type of guy. Like he puts up good numbers, but I don't remember Cole Anthony being known for triple doubles and putting up X amount of rebounds. That's not his game that I know. And the fact that he got 16 against us, that just shows that Derrick was at fault. Quickly, Kemba, Fournier, these guys weren't boxing out. They weren't doing what they needed to do on the rebounding end. Can't happen. So when we see something like this, it's a great sign. Usually I just target 3 momentum changers, but because this game was so special and there was so much good play in this game going down, you know, at the end of the second quarter, in the third quarter, the fourth quarter, I have to give this guy his kudos and his praise as well. This guy just came back and he is doing great work for us, and he hasn't even got his full conditioning and game speed up. Now, I'm not expecting that much more than this, because this is kind of what you would expect from him. But the fact that he gave it to us and we needed it. Nerlens Noel went out there and in 24 minutes of play gave us 6 points and 13 rebounds against Giannis and, you know, the Milwaukee Bucks out there, because Giannis is a problem on the boards as well. So 6 points, 13 rebounds, 3 steals, guys. You see how, you know, this is funny that sometimes out of sight, out of mind. I have been saying that we'll be a much better defensive team when Nerlens Noel gets out here. And he didn't really affect it on the blocks, but when he's going right and he's good, his block game is tremendous. I mean, he finished third in the league in blocks last year for a reason. So when he's going right, he affects the game. And people have been saying, let's trade Nerlens. Why are we giving him 10 plus million? He doesn't even score. He's not an offensive threat. Like, he's light. He has bad hands. He may be all of that. But what he is a hustler. He's a hustler and a good defensive player who affects game with not just blocks. He had 3 steals. This is his second game back. Against Milwaukee, he had 3 steals. So he's very active. We need all of this. He shot 100% from the field goal line, from the field. He had 100% shooting from the free throw line. I mean, he didn't take a lot of shots. I think he took 2 shots from the free throw line. But the point is, he hit his free throws. So he's giving us that effort we need. Y'all got to stop sleeping on Nerlens Noel, man. He's important to this team. We need him. And the only way I'm willing to get rid of Nerlens Noel is if you tell me we're getting somebody back who plays, that same type of defense. He doesn't have to be, lead the league in blocks or anything, but he has to play that same type of defense, and he has to be able to score. That's the only reason why I would say we trade Nerlens Noel for some other center or some other big man out there. They have to be able to play defense, and they have to be able to score, because that's the only thing we're missing from the bigs, that's scoring. But he has to do what we expect from the defensive end. That's got to stay there. But yeah, man, I can't say enough about Nerlens Noel. I'm really excited that he's back. I'm happy for his effort and happy what he brings to his team. And I think Knicks fans out there kind of, have been downplaying what he means to this team. And I think y'all got to take a look again and see that Nerlens creates a good amount of value. We need it. So yeah, that's those are the momentum changers that I think were really big in helping us get this victory and come back from that deficit we were in. There's one more person that I didn't want to mention as a momentum changer, but I do want to highlight because his effort was big in allowing us to get the comeback. He played very solid. I mean, might have been better than we've ever seen him on the defensive end. Offense is still tricky. I think he was 4 of 9 from the field. He had 9 points. And he was 1 of 3 from 3. So his shot it's not clicking yet. He's not lighting it up. But Emmanuel Quickley, got to give Emmanuel Quickley props, man. He went out there and he gave us big time effort on the defensive end. And that goes to people saying that, what does Quickley do? This is what Quickley can do. Quickley can go out there and score. We've seen him be able to facilitate a little bit. We know he can get some assists when he has minutes. We've seen him rebound, because I've seen Quickley put up around 7 or 8 rebounds in the past. So we know he can do that type of stuff. And when he's hot, he can score, like I said. And now we're seeing him affect the game on the defensive effort. On the defensive end with effort. So if he can do all of these things, Quickley seems a little bit more valuable when things are going right than we expected, right? Because last night his defensive effort was great. He was all over the place, and we needed it. And he got a couple out of that. He got a couple steals where he was able to take it to one time. I think his shot got blocked by Connaughton. The other time he actually finished the layup. But the point is, he affected the game, and he was able to get those fast break opportunities. So big up, salute to Quickley for trying to get back, man. Trying to get back. The only thing missing now is a consistent shot from him. He gets that going, and we'll have that old IQ back. So yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to touch on with the momentum changers, guys. That's what we had last night, and we needed every bit of it, and it affected the game in a great way for us. And let's see, get back into the chat real quick. DSJ says, I agree, Ron. Although they're still learning to gel, there's a level of comfort knowing the system that Fournier might need to establish still. Yeah. I agree with you there. Let's see. Yeah, Canal, he understands. You get it. You see Noel. Yeah, we did a great job on the boards. We did. King Ribby said he ain't, bro. What do you, who are you referring to with that, King Ribby? Quickly or Noel? I don't know. Let me know. Worldwide L, top of the morning. Salute. And salute to you as well, King Ribby. What's up, man? Stafford Don in the building. Yo. Blessings. Big win, man. Big win. The new Twin Towers, Mitch and Noel. Yeah. Yeah, man. That's big for us. I'm a little down on Mitch. I ain't gonna lie, guys. I know it's still early. Mitch is still getting back into his conditioning, getting back into shape. I didn't like what I saw yesterday in yesterday's game. I'm sorry. I get it, and I'm not trying to be critical of our team. I love our team. I like everybody on the team, and I know that we haven't seen the best of our guys. Like there's still good stuff that they can do. I didn't like the way I saw what Mitch was doing yesterday. I didn't like the fact that Noel just came back from injury and he's already affecting the game. On the rebounding end, he had 3 steals. Now, Mitch is a different person. Mitch has a different body now. He's bigger. He's not as quick. Noel is still tall, lanky, skinny. He's still got that same speed he had last year, so he's able to do a little bit more on the court maybe and get in the lanes quicker than Mitch would. But does that mean he's quicker to the rebound than Mitch is because he's light and skinny and lanky? Can Mitch not get to a rebound? Mitch is 30 pounds heavier. You mean to tell me that you're going to get boxed out by Grayson Allen? Grayson Allen. When I saw that, I was hot, man. I couldn't believe I just saw Grayson Allen. I mean, of course, anything can happen. Like we've seen NBA players all the time. I seen Steph Curry box out one of these crazy bigs. It wasn't Shaq or somebody, but it was somebody huge. Like how the hell did Steph Curry just do that? So anybody can do it, right? But it's not like Mitch had 14, 15 rebounds. He got boxed out on one opportunity. Mitch finished with 6 rebounds. 6 rebounds. So that kind of bothers me a little bit. And I just and by the way, I put the link in the chat if anybody wants to jump on and comment, feel free. It's always open. But yeah, I just feel like there's something going on with Mitch outside of just his conditioning. Because there's one thing about conditioning, there's another thing about positioning. You are a big man in the NBA. You're 7'1", and you got that tall, you got that wingspan, and you've got extra weight on you now. You should be able to box out Grayson Allen. And if Grayson Allen is somehow boxing you out, you should be able to reposition yourself to move Grayson Allen out of the way. Okay. He's just an example, but it wasn't the only time I witnessed it. I'm going to watch the game back a little later today too, because I saw it happen twice easily. And then there was, obviously other rebounds that Mitch just wasn't in the picture for. So I can blame him for saying that he needs to get more aggressive. This is the thing on Mitch. We pointed to it last year. Mitch is not, if you want to be honest, Mitch is not a good rebounder. He just isn't. And that's because it has to do with positioning. We've seen smaller guys. We saw Charles Barkley lead the league, not lead the league, but he was always one of the top rebounders in the league. He was a double dude monster. Charles Barkley was what, 6'7", 6'8"? Sometimes they would try to say Charles Barkley was 6'6". I don't think he was that small, but he wasn't tall. And he always had the right positioning to get the rebound. He was good at it. There's why there's situations where even there's guards that are really good rebounders. Now that's a little different because they can come in at the last minute and snatch rebounds. But for Mitch, who's already down there, this is part of the problem with Mitch, because I already said it's positioning. So I guess if you're thinking about it, shouldn't it be that Mitch is not tracking the ball off of the other player's hands well? Because if you're tracking the ball from where a guy is shooting, then you pretty much have a much better idea of where the ball is going to land after it hits the rim, if it's a miss. And I think that's what Mitch is not doing. He's not tracking the ball well enough to get in the proper position. You know, you got to get to the position and have somebody else move you out. I bet you if Mitch is in position, Grayson Allen ain't going to move Mitch out of the way. Grayson Allen got into the position before Mitch did. That's the problem. Link is up. Link is up. Let me put it up again. Right. Paste. Hold on. Let me get my man Stafford Don in the building. Salute.
Blessings, my G. What's going on?
You know, can't call it, man. Just a happy Saturday after this Knicks victory. How about you?
Man, big win last night, man. I slept comfortable last night. You know, we made a superb effort. Julius was Julius.
Right.
Derrick Rose did his thing. I think it was 23 points. Quickly played great defense. He, you know, although as you said, his shot. I'm sorry, I'm just.
No, I know you at work. Don't worry about it, man. I got you.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, quickly did his thing. You know, he played great defense with great intensity. Although he didn't, his shot wasn't falling like that, but he still represented. I'm going home. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, man.
No, don't worry about it, man. I understand. I appreciate you, bro. Listen, we all got real lives and other things take precedence. So you gotta be where you gotta be.
I feel you. But overall, man, I was happy that we went into Milwaukee and we got the win, bro.
Yep. Big victory. Let's want to give a quick shout out and salute to my man Worldwide L in the building. What's going on, L?
What's good, bro? What's going on? I ain't got my headset on, so I'm talking to the phone.
Nah, that's okay. We can hear you.
Blessings, L.
What's up, Shotgun?
Just chilling, man. Another day.
Good win last night. Good overall win last night.
Well, yeah, man. What you think about it?
Yeah, I mean, it was just a good overall win. You know, it started out sluggish. They regrouped. They got it together. Big effort from D Rose, of course. RJ stepped up. He played good again. So that's 4 games in a row for RJ playing great. Julius played like he's supposed to play when you're going up against some stars. Like a star like Giannis, he's supposed to have games like this. This is what we want to see from our superstar.
Facts.
We don't want to see them how it used to be back in the days when LeBron and them came to town. They just had their way. You know, we never had no answer for these guys, but now, Julius is that answer. He kind of matches up pretty good against Giannis. If you look at their head-to-head, they kind of match up evenly because they cause a lot of fits for each other. So they kind of, if they both having a good game, it cancels them out. So it's something that players on each team to step up for them guys when be playing against each other. And last night was Rose, IQ. Ron, I heard you mention IQ. IQ stepped up big, good dude. He played great defense more than anything, like you said. His defense was spot on last night.
Yeah, it was stellar last night. Yep.
Yeah, it was spot on. I like that. Even Obi going out doing a couple of things. It may not show up in the stat sheet, but he was part of that run. Kimba in the second half came out there, hit a nice big 3, drove to the basket. I think he got fouled on one play. So he came out there, he ain't had it going, but them points that he scored in that third quarter was crucial for us to help gain the lead. You take the lead. It's overall team effort, Shout out to Tibbs for good coaching job, making the right adjustments coming out in that second half, putting RJ on Grayson Allen as opposed to letting them guards keep trying to guard him. So that was another key too. Grayson Allen, I think he scored 3 points, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe 5 or something, or 6 in that second half.
Yeah, they definitely locked them down. They locked the whole team down. I think there was some stat that I heard. Like I said, I was at the supermarket in the third quarter, so I was missing some things. But I did hear something like I think the Bucks scored 38 points in the first quarter, and I think they had like 36 or 38 points. No, I think it was around 36 for the whole second half.
Yeah. You're right. You're right. A stat like that, you accurate.
Wow. I mean, that was a great job, man. That was a great job. Unbelievable. Focus on,
And I heard you shout out Noel too, man. Noel did a fantastic job last night. Fantastic job protecting the paint from Giannis. Although Giannis had 25, I didn't think he shot a good shot good from the field. But that was
Strap. When we won the game at last night. Our offensive rebounds was 20-7 last night.
Yes.
I think it was 53 or 54 points. They had 28 points in the paint. So that's why I say it was a good job by Tibbs recognizing that and start having them guys go to the hole because the hole was wide open, as opposed to just selling it for threes. It's because we shoot good. Just because we can shoot the three, don't mean we always got to fall accustomed to shooting the three. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Be able to change it up, and that's what did it for us. We started going to the hole, and in return, when you go into the hole, it's sort of like a football game, and your body is just banging. Now the ref's not calling a foul. Come that fourth quarter, it starts to take a toll on you. So that's how we was able to take control because this is our style of play is banging. We're not a 3-point team. That's something that we try and do this season. But we got bangers on this team, and when they get down, they start banging. Come fourth quarter, the opposite team, they're gonna be tired, and that's what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I agree. I look. I think that's got to be this team's identity. That, like the fact that we know we got some defensive issues we got to deal with. It's going to be tough for us on certain nights against certain teams. They're going to really expose us. Remember, I don't think we've really had to play any of these A1 guards yet. When we get some of these A1 guards, it's going to be a problem. Like when we play like the Damian Lillards, I'm putting Ja Morant in the mix now. When we play, even who knows, like on any given night, the next matchup for us when we play Cleveland, like Garland and Sexton, they can get busy. So it's going to be very tough. And if that's the case, I pointed to it. Past couple of days I've been saying we got to get on the boards, man. We got to get these rebounds. Like there's certain things you can try your best, but you got no control over it. If a guy is poor defensively and he's going up against a tough matchup, he's going to get beat. It's just going to happen. So you try to, obviously contain it the best you can. So it's not a laugher, but you want to try to, say, okay, if this is a poor matchup and we're going to have problems against this team because of the guard play, then let's get to the boards. Kimba needs to get on the boards. Kimba, you know what? All right, you got me. Shoot, let me see where I can get on the court to get this rebound if you miss. Whatever they got to do, we got to get these rebounds, stop them from hitting them second chance, points, and go from there.
Team effort on the boards. Shout out to D Rose. He had 8 rebounds last night. That was phenomenal. I hear your concerns with Mitch, man, but I really think Mitch gonna come around, Ron. Just you see like how we was down on quickly and quickly is coming around and he's showing defense. Just give us a support. I think Mitch is gonna come around. I know people want Noel to start, because Noel is more agile. He could move more fluidly than Mitch. Because Mitch is a little stiff with the weight. But at the same time, Mitch gonna come around. And it's what? The 9th game of the season, 10th game of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
9th game. Yeah, 10th game is against Cleveland. Yeah, so it's early.
Yeah, it's still early because I know Knicks was. I know if we had lost last night, oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Probably would
I agree.
The whole church quiet.
Yep. Yeah, I agree with you. And let me tell you something, Pudge. I'm putting it up there, but you stole my thunder. You like a little 5 games too early for me right now. I've been having that in the back of my mind for quite some time. No, but I mean, understand what I'm saying. I'm not saying that Mitch doesn't get his minutes. Mitch can still get starter minutes. But I remember Noel ran with this starting group last year. Noel was out there for a few months rolling with the starting lineup, and he's part of the reason why we were able to win 41 games and get into the playoffs. So I'm not saying I want to take away the amount of time that Mitch is out there on the court. I just think maybe Mitch might be better suited to come with the second team and be out there with Rose, and Rose gets him some opportunities and he can flow better. I think Mitch and Obi out there is a nice pairing. It's a little better than Mitch and Randle. I think the way they play the game, I think affects Mitch. I think if Mitch can get out there and get running again, get his conditioning right, running alongside of Rose and Obi, that might open up Mitch's game and get him back into the flow. Because, guys always feel good when the ball goes in the basket. You get Mitch out there in transition on a fast break, get him some dunks. He starts feeling good. He starts playing better effort on defense, starts affecting the game. That's what I'm looking at. I don't want to take his minutes away. I want him to still be able to play solid minutes so he can get what he wants, like his benchmark of being a really good defender and being on that all NBA team. But sometimes it might be you got to look at the positioning of the lineups and say, hey, you know what? Let's just switch this here, switch that there, but still give Mitch his love. So that's all I was saying. I hear you, though, but it's not set in stone that Mitch needs to be the starter. As long as he gets his minutes and plays like he's a starter, that's all that really matters. Just maybe he's better with the second unit.
See, I think the thing with Mitch is, and this is what everybody got to understand, like him and Nerlens are two different defensive type players. So when Nerlens has to guard against a Giannis, it's pretty much easy. It's not easy, but he can hang out a little bit because he don't really worry about Giannis shooting a three. You remember that play where he kind of stepped away from Giannis, and before that Giannis had hit a three, but then he stepped away from Giannis, and Giannis missed the next shot. So you got to understand the defensive matchups on that one. Mitch strength is he's a great help defender. He's quick on his feet to be able to help guys. So when you see him against Turner, that game against Turner where he's having to help out because our guard is getting smoked, he's cheating. So he's trying to play help defense, do his job, and also cover his man. It just so happened that Turner just happened to hit the shot. I don't care who was out there, Nerlens, Mitch, or whoever. If your guard is getting beat constantly like that, you're going to see the same result. The result didn't change when you put Nerlens in the game. He still kept on hitting threes because they had to cheat because our guard was getting smoked. So we can't just get blinded while on one decent game from Nerlens. Understand that we need Mitch to do what Mitch does. His closeout on the 3 points is way better than Nerlens. His pick and roll defense is way better than Nerlens. So we got to understand what Mitch brings to the table and what Nerlens brings to the table. That's why I put the thing of a twin tower of being able to change the tempo of whoever's in the game. Mitch comes in the game. He's having to guard the best center. I know talking on the show last night, somebody said having Nerlens close the game, right? And then we thought about how can you have him close the game? He can't stop Embiid. He can't stop a Joker. You see what I'm saying? So this is big body centers who can bang inside and outside. But Mitch can hang out with them boys. So we got to be careful about how we use the two. But using the two is our strength, I think. And having them two guys is what's make one good or one even great center, in my opinion. Because they outside of them being able to shoot the three, they able to score around the basket when given a chance. They able to give us a couple of assists. Nerlens gets steals because he's long and lanky, so they give you some steals, and they both give you block shots, and they both alter shots. So you can't ask for someone from a good tandem of centers. That's just my opinion on that.
No, I mean that you make a really good point. I agree with you on that. That's something that I can't argue that is the case. And there's differences in their game. There's obviously a need for a guy like Nerlens, that I've been saying for a minute, but there's a need for Mitch too. And Mitch is the guy, right? If we get what we normally would expect from Mitch, the conversation is always going to point to Mitch being the man and Nerlens just, being the guy off the bench helping us out in certain situations. It's just we haven't had a chance to really see a lot of that, happen, because of the fact that things are still being worked on with Mitch. He's still getting his conditioning right. Shout out to my man Delano Steele for joining us. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, salute.
Let me just finish this point. I'll open it up to hear from you as well. Yeah, like we just haven't had a chance to really get what we expect to see from Mitch as of yet. It's still happening. It's gonna get there. But if we get that true Mitch, that new Mitch with that weight and that explosiveness and being able to dominate out there, then this conversation is not needed. But what I think is going to happen, Mitch is playing every night, right? And these games are coming, every other day. So it's a lot. He's getting his conditioning right, but one of these games he's going to sit, and that's when we're going to see what I'm talking about. If he sits one of these games, Noel's going to be put into the starting lineup, and they're going to run, and you're going to see a difference in how it's playing right now. I'm not saying it's going to be that way. Like if Mitch gets it together, then none of this matters. But I think right now, Nerlens is a better option for us while Mitch is getting right. Like I think that's kind of like what people are thinking as well in the chat. Like it's just all about he's coming out the gate after being injured. He's coming out pretty fluid, pretty agile. Noel's looking good. So I think say Mitch gets one game of rest. And then, God forbid he gets an injury. I hope he doesn't have that. But say he gets one game of rest, giving Noel that opportunity to run with the starters might change the way this offense is moving, the way our defense is moving, and give us a different look. And Mitch might benefit more from that second unit. I'm not saying I want Tibbs to just do it because that mentally might, Mitch is still a young guy. He gets emotional sometimes. That might affect him. We don't want that. So, but yeah, I think you just gotta bear with it. Give it a little chance, man. Give it a chance to figure things out. We'll see. I think we lost DSJ, but he will probably.
I got a trick question. I got a trick question for you. One of them games you talk about, Mitch might sit out. Think it'd be a game against one of them centers that I talked about.
I do. I do. Because
if we see that. Then I understand. I understand the logic. If we see if that happens with him, Mitch sitting out against one of them good centers in the league, and them putting Nerlens out there. I want to see how that pans out.
Yeah, I mean, I think it could happen, but it all depends on timing wise, like when we play these teams, right? Because right now I think Mitch is due for a rest. After this game against Cleveland, I wouldn't be surprised because I think we play again on Monday. I mean, these games are like back to back when you think about it. They're not, night after night, but they're coming pretty quickly. And for a guy who's still trying to get in shape, but he's playing a lot of minutes and out there doing things, and he's still coming back from injury, I think he's due for a rest soon. So it might happen before that, but we'll see what happens. We're still trying to get a couple other people in here, but they might be having some issues with their internet. We'll get it right. Move this, and then hopefully he can come back in, and I'll get him on here. DSJ, if you can, let me put the link back in there. So what did Delano say? In Mitchell Robinson's defense, I think he's still worried about his foot and making sure he doesn't re-injure himself. That is probably very true because, when you have injuries and it keeps you out for a long period of time, so it's a significant injury, that stuff weighs on your mind. And it definitely could be in his mind right now. Because you all see how Mitch is out there, man. Mitch looks very, I know Nate mentioned it last night on MBK, but I think we all see it. Like Mitch is kind of awkward, the way he comes down, the way he falls and stuff. And usually when you see that from any athlete that hurts themselves, like after they hurt themselves, now they're trying not to land on that ankle, or they're trying not to do this, and they wind up hurting themselves even worse on something else because they're not playing normally. So it could be true. Mitch may be going through something like that. What you think, staff?
Hello,
you there, staff? Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, what was the question? I'm sorry.
I was saying, do you think like Mitch is probably kind of got that injury in the back of his mind and he's favoring it a little bit because he seems like You know, he's not quite sure-footed right now.
I think so. I think it's still in his head.
Yeah, yeah. What about you, Al?
Yeah, I definitely think so. Me being somebody that broke their wrist, I remember when I came back from injury, and you know, you want to go out there in the basketball, you kind of favor it until, in my case, probably was a good fall, a good foul, and then you know nothing happened. You just like, okay, I'm back, you know. But the minute you tweak it again, because you will tweak it, he will tweak that foot again.
Mm-hmm.
The doubts go back, you know, into your mind. So it takes a while before the doubts are erased. So it might be a while. It might be like after the All-Star break here, it starts to get real comfortable with the foot again and being able to trust it, because it's a trust thing. You know, every time you tweak it, you're gonna think that you possibly, you know, could have broke it again, you know. But from my understanding, he got screws in it, right? So he shouldn't break it again. So you just have to get over the fear of that. Yeah. So I believe so.
Yeah. Knicks 100, salute. What's going on? Always a pleasure. Yeah, I'm trying to get you in here, John. Let's see. I don't know. It's just spinning, yo. It's spinning.
Yeah, we had a problem last night too. Ron, and something was going on with StreamYard last night.
Really?
It wasn't. We couldn't put the StreamYard in the link for some strange reason. So
wow.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Hopefully we can get you in here, brother, man. Let's see. Hit that like button. Appreciate you, Pudge. If Tibbs doesn't take out Noel for Mitch, we beat Pacers too. Interesting.
I don't agree with that, because what we talked about, it was a help defense. Our guards was getting beat. So you have to watch. It's like, see, what people you got to watch. Like when you're watching the game, sometimes you got to take your eye off of the ball and watch what's going on the other side of the court and watch the plays being ran, or from an offense and defensive standpoint, watching the other team, seeing what they're running, seeing how we're reacting to these plays. We was getting cooked. Caris LeVert was cooking us. Cooking us. So that's not Mitch's fault. And if you put Nerlens in the game, which we did, the result still was the same. So it didn't matter. That didn't fall on Mitch or Nerlens that game. It felt on Tibbs. That's who it fell on, because he didn't make the right adjustments early enough to help them guys, or to make them guys play man-to-man defense like they did last night. Part of our strength of us winning the game last night was everybody manned up in that third quarter. There was no more team defense. It was no more team defense, and that slowed the Bucks down, and that's what they should have went to against the Pacers, and then we probably could have won.
Yeah. Now, I mean, yeah, in that game it was a little different, because I think like our guards was getting cooked, and we didn't have an answer.
Brogdon was cooking Kimber last night, bro. I mean, night before.
Yeah.
Who's the other one? Who's the rookie? What's the rookie? Durant, and Caris LeVert.
Yeah, Duarte. Yeah, Duarte's good, man. I know Knicks was sick when they couldn't move up to get him. I get it. I see it now. Yeah, he's good. He's good.
So it don't matter who we would have had out there, Ron. They would all cook this. And you know, our center position would have been hurting anyway, because Turner, who was struggling thus far shooting a three, right? All of a sudden he gets hot that night. So you got to also understand how the game plan was probably drawn up for this game, that game against the Pacers.
Right.
They didn't expect for him to be able to knock down 7 3-pointers. And Tibbs probably said, you know what, we'll live with that. But we got beat all the way around, because by him hitting the three, it opens up the floor for everybody else. And that allowed the guards to get cooked.
Yeah. It's the give and the take, man. You make one adjustment here and you say, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, then something else is gonna get lit, you know, depending on how the other team is playing. They did the right thing against it. That's why they won the game. They played. These teams are taking taking a good look at what we're doing out there on the court, and they are playing accordingly. Like whatever we're giving them, they're taking.
Yeah, so, it was important. That's why it was so important last night that they manned up. Once they manned up on man to man and stopped running team defense, then you see how the game changed. It looked like the old Knicks from last year. Everybody get your man up and let's go to work. You know?
Yeah.
But you saw in that second half, and the rest you saw the outcome. The score, the numbers don't lie. The numbers don't lie from last night. So that was man-to-man defense.
Now I was really excited about that because that showed us, that's kind of got back to, you know, the old Knick principles that we saw from last year. That was definitely one of those games where we like, these are Knicks. This is the Knicks last year when they were playing right. Either we were leading and controlling the game, or if we were losing, you knew we'd be back in it because the way we were playing, like we were never out of a game. And that's how I felt once they started to get it together. When they at the end of the second half, when I knew we cut the lead to like 6 points, I was like, okay. After we was getting blown out by 19, I'm like, all right, nah, this is good because not only are we coming back, we're getting closer. Bucks see that we kind of figure something out here. We starting to play better. They see it. They see it's coming. And then the third quarter, when we started to get close, and I think we finished the third quarter, if I'm not mistaken, I think we finished the third quarter tied 80-80. So at that point, I was like, okay, we've been chipping away. We giving effort, but it's not like, you know, when we was losing to these other teams and we couldn't get back in the game, like we couldn't get close. You know, we finally hit that mark because once you tie the game, it's a mental thing for us and for them. They're like, okay, oh man, we don't got that lead anymore. And then from the fourth quarter, it just took off. It went from there. You know, big shout out, big salute to my man Andy. Thank you for tuning in, bro. I know you are your day is started and you got that big time difference, so you might be eating dinner now. I don't know. So enjoy yourself, brother. Thank you. Tap Face, what's up? Salute. Blessings to everyone. Yes. Pudge Nice says, so what's up, Andy? Yeah. Pudge Nice. Yeah, he's getting 11 million. He's going to start. Yeah, you know. Be Civilized. Salute. In the building. What's up, Be Civilized? Noel is better offensively. Yeah, I mean, to a certain extent, you're right about that. It's not saying much, but you are right. He gives us a little bit more. And let me tell you, that little move where he grabbed the rebound and he went to turn around, but he faked like he was going to keep going and just turned around and gave it a little left and dropped it right in. That's a veteran swift move right there from a big. He knew what he was doing. And that's the type of stuff. You know, that's another thing that frustrates me about Mitch. I don't want this to be the Mitch train. I don't want to come down on Mitch, but what have we seen for the past 2 years when Mitch was healthy, what he was working on in the offseason? What did we see when he started to get a little better this year, when he was starting to get healthier before he came? We see Mitch working on all these low post moves, these shots. We're not seeing nothing from Mitch. Like, I don't care. I don't want to see Mitch shooting threes, or he don't have to shoot jump shots, but we don't see no low post action from Mitch. Like, I don't even understand how Tibbs is okay with not allowing Mitch to do anything down low. Are you saying don't throw the ball to Mitch? Mitch got good hands. He's not Noel. Like, you get him the ball, he can grab it. So why can't he do a little jump hook, do a little, you know, if he got an up and under, I don't know. That's not easy, but whatever it is that bigs work on, can we see a little of it from Mitch? Just a little bit? Am I wrong in that, guys? I don't know. Like, it's crazy. I mean, L, you've seen Mitch. Have you ever seen Mitch do anything down low that shows that he's got some offensive capabilities?
Nah, only on film.
Right?
No,
I mean, yeah.
Only on film, but he can score. That's why I said they both can score around the basket. Him getting the ball, he doesn't make me nervous when he shoots the ball. We just want him to shoot the ball. That's the problem. You know, I believe he can make any shot that he wants, but he has to take it upon himself to take the shot. I'm not worried about him. I'm not worried about him around the rim.
Worldwide, do you think that Thibodeau or any of the coaches doesn't want him to shoot, and Mitch does want to shoot, or even a hook shot, a jump shot? Because we see Noel does a hook shot.
Noel has a little
They're not
shot.
calling no plays. They're not calling plays for Nerlens or Mitch. You know, Todd is the only one. It looks like they call a pick and pop for him because he has the best stroke from the free throw extended. So it seems like when he's in the game, they'll call a play for him. Outside of him, you don't see plays called for Nerlens or Mitch. You know, so when you see a hook shot from Nerlens, it's a broken play, or he grabbed the rebound and went back. He went back up with it. You know.
Hear me out. With that being said, though, right? Let's
Mhm.
go back to earlier in the season with the preseason, all the talks where they were saying they wanted to take more threes, and you heard Noel said that how he was working on shooting threes.
Mhm.
So can you see even Mitch or even Noel hitting some corner threes?
If it's designed that way, like you remember the play where he bobbled the ball on the 3-pointer, where he was sitting out there wide open, and then Randle passed it to him, but he couldn't hold on to the
Right, he
ball.
dropped the Butterfingers, right?
Yeah, so that's what designed for him to be out there. So if it's designed for him to be out there, then yeah, I see it because the shot was there. They spread the floor, so it didn't matter what center was out there. That would have been Obi's spot if that was the lineup they would have been running. So that would have been Obi in that corner over there, but it was Nerlens. It just depends. I mean, it depends. You don't see no plays being ran for them, so you don't. All they stuff is around the basket. You know, Mitch is the better offensive rebounder than Nerlens. You know? Nerlens did a good
Yeah.
he did a good job tapping the ball out last night. I thought that was key for them balls he couldn't get to. I always like a center that does that because sometimes you're not in position, but your effort allows you to tap the ball out to your teammate. So
Right.
I always love the little tap backs. But Mitch is a better offensive rebound. See that it just neither one of them pose a threat on the offensive end. But they don't hurt you. They don't hurt you on offense neither because they'll grab an offensive rebound and put it back up. So they'll clean the mess up, and that's what they there for.
Right. No, I agree. I mean, that's the thing. Like they both have great. They both have really good things that they do. You know, Mitch is really good at offensive rebound. That's his thing. But we actually need him to probably work harder on the defensive rebounding side as well. Noel is a pretty good rebounder all around, and he's a much better rim protector when it comes to blocks. But you know, he's light. He's light out there. He's light. He gets pushed around too. But he somehow is able to use his quickness and his you know his positioning. He knows how to get in the right spot even when he's getting pushed out. Like he's just savvy. And sometimes you wish that he had put on that extra 30, 40 pounds, like, and been able to have that and see what he could do. But it is what it is, man. I'm happy with our team. Oh, you gonna say something, Staffer?
I wanted to bring up we for the past few games we've been talking about the bench, man, and the bench came out huge last night. There was a spark last night. They brought down the lead to about 10. They brought that energy. We got to give it up to the bench, man, because we was talking about the bench. The bench was a suspect. We was talking about where's the continuity with the bench from last year. And
Right.
and I think last night it looked like they kind of clicked. And you know what? It's like once D Rose go, the bench goes.
Right.
You
Right.
know, once D Rose brings that energy, you see quickly with the energy. You see Obi pushing up the floor, running hard. You know, Burks playing defense, and you know Noel gonna do his thing. So I got to shout out the bench last night, man. They brought it last night.
No, I'm with you on that, man. The bench did their thing. This is what we need from our bench, and then you know we can't say that we have one of the best benches in the league or one of the deepest teams in the league if these guys aren't playing the basketball that we used to seeing. Like, yeah, he quickly kind of might have been like I'll say, well, Rose is the bench god, so but Rose set the tone, quickly followed it. Burks played effectively. He had a good game. Obviously Noel was great. So, with those four alone was enough to say, wow. And then you got the contribution from Obi, because Obi in his first 6 minutes, 6 minutes of play, he had 6 points, but he was very active. He caught that left-handed alley-oop dunk, which was fly.
Yep, Obi honest.
Yeah, right. And the thing about that too is, like, it seems like Obi's just not going to get the minutes, guys. Obi played 6 minutes. He had 6 points. I looked at it. I was like, okay. Definitely might be this night that he gets some more. He wound up getting 14, which is more than he got the last game. He got 10 the last game, but he got 14.
Well, you know what I think it is? Why he's not getting his minutes? What's minutes that? Because I hit that corner three. Look how much corner threes Obi been open, and he's been missing. And I think he's shooting at first he was shooting 18%. It probably went down even more. So the corner shots for Obi, he needs to work on it more. And I believe once he start hitting those shots, he'll see some more time instead of just running the floor, which is no problem, right? And transition, which is no problem. But he needs to hit the outside shots when it comes to him, and he's not hitting it.
Yeah. I think it's definitely something going on there with him working on that shot, because that's what's going to give Obi that offensive presence that people got to respect, because he can be active, run around and beat you to spots and make his own offensive opportunities. But eventually guys are going to try to cut him off and beat him to the spot. Then they're going to dare him to shoot. And if he's not hitting that shot, then he's not going to be able to really add too much and score. And I think that's kind of what happens, because Obi gets off, like, he hasn't been able to, sustain 6 points in 6 minutes. He finished with 14 minutes played, but he still had 6 points. So he couldn't score more after that because, like you said, not hitting that outside shot, people aren't respecting it. So then they start trying to take you away from the inside, try to take you away from driving, and there goes your offense. So, yeah.
But one thing I noticed with Obi, though, he's taking it to the hole even more now. He's taking his man off the dribble. He's bringing the ball down the court, going straight to the basket. So that's one thing I'm impressed of Obi for. Or as I said, all he's not hitting those shots, he's still rebounding. He's still bringing energy. He's still running the floor. But he needs to work on that outside three-pointer shot.
Yeah. I'm not. Pudge Nice says we only need Mitch for the playoffs. I ain't gonna say that, Pudge. I'm not. That's my beat.
Gotta get to the playoff first. You gotta get there first.
Facts.
Nice guy, man.
To answer the question about the second unit, I think we talked about it before, Ron, that the problem was they wasn't making shots, and you see the difference in them when they make their shots. When Rose come out there, he sets the tempo. He makes a couple of shots. IQ makes a couple of shots. It's more or less that everybody just doing their job. If Burks come out there, he hit a three. If IQ come out there, he hit a three. Or however they flowing, as long as they're making shots, you got to make the defense play honest. And when they play honest, you're gonna have Derrick Rose to the hoop all day long, and he's going to be able to dribble, drive, penetrate, and either take the shot or kick it out to the wide open person. So they just made their shots last night. And if they make their shots, we stand a chance to win a lot of games.
No, yeah, you're right about that. I agree with that. That is going to be key. Pudge says got to win against Cleveland. We'll be 7-3. Yep. That's big, man, and that's a lot of people's predictions. Like when everybody was talking about what you predict for the Knicks for the first 10 games. A lot of people were saying 7-3. I jumped out the window. I said 8-2. It is what it is, right?
7-3 was my worst case scenario.
Right.
7-3 was my worst case, and I want to give the Knicks some credit too. We bashed them for losing the games that they lost. But I just want to give them credit for being able to stay with the pack. Right now, they're staying with the pack. And as long as we stay with the pack, we're always being striking distance. We ain't gonna never be at the point where we're gonna be 5 games below first place. You understand what I'm saying? As long as we maintain, we'll always be a half a game within first place. 2 games within first place. As long as we just continue to do our job, and that's why it's so important to start off the season on a good note. So even if we go, let's say we go 7-3, that's a nice start to start the season. So I just want to give them guys credit because we bash them, but we also got to praise them for where they at right now, and they're in a pretty good. They're in a pretty good spot to be in. Because they got a tough schedule too. They got I forgot the month, but they play a lot of heavy dogs. And I'm just being honest. I'm not afraid of the heavy dogs no more. So I don't even know if that's going to be a tough part of the schedule. I think this is going to be like regular games. We at the point of this team now. Huh?
If you notice, we beat all the heavyweight teams so far, bro.
Yeah.
We just down to the little small competition. But every big team that we played, the Chicago, the Phillies, the Milwaukees, the Bostons, all these teams that they said that was going to crush us. What we did, we crushed them.
Yeah.
I second that with you, bro. I'm not scared of them big dogs.
Not the teams that scare me the most, and I go back to last year too, and these teams, the Indiana Pacers, because they play a similar style to what we play, and the Miami Heat because they also play a similar style to what we play. Other teams, when you look at the bench scoring and how their team is constructed, we better than them when it comes to the bench part. Our benches is the key, and then Miami got a nice store. They got homie coming off the bench, putting up 20, damn near 20 a game. So, and then you got Indiana, as you saw, they bench came in and they did a job the other night. They have a nice little bench. They bench ain't better than ours, but they got scrappy players that play hard on the defensive end,
Right.
And for the most part, like them boys up there in Toronto play some good defense too. Sometimes we just gotta look at it like that too, fellas. They're a good defensive team. So I'm not really
But the worldwide, I think it's the length that matters, yo. Because you see Toronto and you see Indiana, they long. Because if you notice in the Toronto game, they had Batten guarding D Rose. And how tall is Batten? Like 6'9"?
Yeah, and they players crash the boards on us too. They had them big crash the boards.
So I would say Toronto and Miami give me the scare, but I wouldn't say Pacers. We've been crushing the Pacers for a long time. I ain't really scared of the Pacers, but you see Miami, that boy Hero.
Yeah, Hero. I couldn't say his name. I'm glad you pronounced it for me.
Yeah. No.
Listen, I lived in Miami for 20 years, bro. And I'm a Knicks fan. So you should know the banter that I went through dealing with the LeBron years and the Wade years when I'm living down there, bro. And now,
I can imagine.
Right. And now that we kind of semi on top now and they doing good, it's gonna be a battle, bro. New York and Miami is always gonna be a battle.
Yeah. And first off, shout out to the Queen's Court, Steph. Salute. Thank you for tuning in.
Salute, Steph, the Queen.
Steph said 7-3 sounds real good. Yeah. And 7-3 is still one of the best starts that we've had as a Knicks franchise, to start a season. So, look, everything that we've talked about. Imagine all the ups and downs that we've gone through in this past 9 games. We get to 7-3. That's a great sign, man. We need to beat these Cleveland Cavaliers because that just means that the Knicks have had a really interesting first 10 games and we were still able to come out with a nice record on top. That shows the type of team we got here. And if they get, and we're still not playing our best basketball consistently. We play consistently, man. We can do some things in this league, put people on notice. It's still out there. It's coming. We're not there yet, but it's a work in progress. I think that I want to touch on one thing with you guys, because I know a lot of people have been, been harping on it. I brought it up a little bit myself, but what do you guys think about the fact that we got to see a little glimpse of the rookies out there in the last 2 minutes of the game? How do you think that translates to them getting their feet wet? We haven't seen that in a while because the Knicks haven't been blowing anybody out. Do you think that maybe, when Tibbs gets to see them on the court again, maybe he starts to say, okay, I forgot about you guys. Maybe next game, maybe we'll see where we go. What you guys think? Staff, you want to start?
Well, it's going to be situational for me. Once it's a blowout injury, that's when we're going to see those guys. I ain't really got nothing much to say about that. I know we want to see Grimes. We want to see McBride. But I got to agree with something that Josh said yesterday. You can't take out the veterans like that because you might lose the locker room putting in those rookies early. You understand what I'm saying? And messing up the continuity. So, those guys is going to be situational and blowouts when you're going to see those guys. That's just my opinion on that.
Yeah, I think that with how our team is constructed, that the egos or disrupting a veteran. We got good character guys on this team. I want Tibbs to keep the same energy that when Kimba was struggling yesterday, how he went to D Rose, right? Next man up mentality. You keep that same energy with all the players. Recognize when these guys ain't got it and give it to whoever earns it. If it calls for, if IQ is struggling and you're going to keep him in the game, keep him struggling, or you're going to tap Grimes and say, give me 5 minutes out there.
That's not going to happen with YL. It's not going to happen.
I'm saying that's
down one time.
Situational.
No, Tibbs is stubborn, bro. He's going with trust. And he's going. Did you see the lineup that he closed the game out last night? The old team from last year. He didn't have Fournier in there. He didn't have Kemba in there. He had the guys that he trusts. So by you saying that, bro, we all want to see it, but Tibbs is not going to do it, bro. You know that. I know that. Ron know that. The Queen know that.
I mean, we know it, but that's still coaching. So that's what it comes down to. You keep the same energy of a player, but you're going to keep him in the game if he ain't doing nothing. See, that's what I'm saying.
So he's going to go with the players that he trusts. He's not going to go with the rookies. I doubt it.
We'll never know, right? We'll never know because we'll never know if he'll do it or not. So we'll never know, I guess.
Man, you know what? You're right. You'll never know.
Yeah, we'll never know because we'll never know if he's going to do it or he's not going to do it. We'll never know. We could sit here and say, nah, he ain't going to do it because that's true. He do. That's how he does coach. He go with trust. But if this is new Tibbs or a new, part of coaching is evolving. You gotta evolve. So sooner or later, he's gonna have to get out his ways. If he want to win a championship, he got to get out his own way sometime. We talked about it on our show about does the moment of I asked you that question too, right, Ron? Does the moment of the pressure Tibbs, right?
Right.
So that's coaching. I don't think it's the pressure. I think it'd be the moment, getting caught up in the moment. See, getting caught up in the moment, he didn't get caught up in the moment last night when Kimba didn't have it going on, and he went to Derrick Rose. He seen Derrick Rose have it, right? He stayed right with Rose. He picked Kimba out there. Kimba got busy.
Notice that. That's somebody trust though. That's somebody
with high hand. He went with the high hand.
Right.
So it wasn't just keeping Rose in the game. He went with the high hand all night. From keeping RJ in the game. He kept RJ in the game the whole third quarter into the fourth quarter, as opposed to what he did the other night against Indiana when RJ was cooking. He pulled him out for no reason when he should have kept him in the game. So that's what I mean. That's why I say we'll never know. We'll never know because he has to evolve in order for us to get better too as he has to evolve as a coach in order for us to get better as a team.
But you know what? I feel if that's going to be the situation, I think it's going to be a coaching staff or from up top saying he got to play them. I think it's got to be from up top, because I don't think he gonna just play them like that. I think it got to come from up top, bro. Or Johnny Bryant go to him and they have a coaches meeting and they figure out something. But for right now, I think Tibbs is running the show how he wants it. And until probably Leon Rose say, yo, these guys is not doing, I want to see the rookies. And that's maybe how you might see these guys play.
Right? But even last night, asked Tibbs about that, the same thing we're talking about. And they asked, because the Westchester opened up, and they asked him, do you want to send them down and have them guys play? He said, nah, because he wants them here with the team. They should be learning and they're earning to be here. That's him saying that. That's him. So that's why I think it's not a matter of trust. Sometimes it's just a matter of just pushing the right buttons as a coach. I believe he trusts them, because if he didn't trust them guys, they wouldn't be here. So evidently they bring something to the table that he enjoys, that he likes to see. It's just a matter of him pushing the right buttons when he needs to push the right buttons. And that's evolving as a coach. So
I think both of them go hand in hand worldwide. I think both of them go hand in hand. The trust and the coaching. I think that goes hand in hand. Because I don't think you need both of them. If you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I definitely understand.
Yeah, no, I listen, you guys are making great points. And Stafford Dunn, I mean, the key that you said is Tibbs is stubborn. Tibbs is stubborn. And he's gonna go with the guys he trusts. Yeah, that is true. So but I will say this. We will see these guys at some point. It may not be in the course of the game where we'd like to see them when we're struggling. I mean, unless it's something crazy like last night's game. I thought easily we could have seen Grimes in that game. If the game had stayed the way we down 19 going into the second quarter, going into the second half, being down 19 or something like that, I think we might have had a chance to see Grimes out there. But fortunately for us, Knicks turned it around. But I do think that we will see some of these guys at some point, even without injuries. Kemba's going to get a rest, which is going to bump quickly or Rose up, which means they're going to be playing a little more minutes. They're going to need a breather. Deuce might be in there for 4 or 5 minutes just to give somebody a breather. Fournier or whoever else, one of these games, these guys are going to sit, especially if we got back-to-backs, which we're about to deal with our first set of back-to-backs very soon, because we play what is it? We play Cleveland, and I think it's a back-to-back, because right after them we play is it Milwaukee again? No, I'm sorry, not Milwaukee. Let me pull up the schedule real quick, because I want to see who we got going on right after that. But go ahead, y'all talk.
If that would be interesting to see if they do sit Kemba and they bring up McBride off the bench just to save his knees. That would be interesting. But we just as worldwide see, we just have to wait and see.
Yeah, we have to wait, because think about it like that. If Kemba didn't play a lot of minutes last night, because you got to take this in consideration too. He didn't play a lot of minutes last night, right? And depending on how many minutes he played against the Cavs will determine if he played that back-to-back. So we just have to wait and see.
Right. Exactly. I agree. 100.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what it is. The Knicks play the Cavaliers on Sunday, and then Monday night we play the Philadelphia 76ers again.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So that's a back-to-back. So there's a good chance that we could see maybe one or two of these rookies, just to give some guys a breather, because that's a lot of basketball action back-to-back against two tough teams. So there's a chance that we could see Jericho and maybe Grimes. I don't know about Deuce because Deuce is kind of the last one on the totem pole. I don't know if that's necessarily because of his game and what he's been doing in practice, or it's just because we've got a lot more that's viable at that position.
Yeah, I think so too.
So.
But you know what's going on?
Yeah.
Burks is a ball handler too, so he could also cut the rotation also too.
Right.
And don't even use them and just go with Burks as a ball handler too. That's true. I know he can play Kemba.
Yeah, that's a good point. So Burks getting traded soon, Pudge Nice says. I don't know. I don't know. We need him right now, man.
Yeah, you know, the only player I like that I would trade Burks for is if we could get Harrison Barnes. Other than that,
yeah,
that ain't happening.
I know it's not gonna happen. That's the only player that I see
that's switched. Trust me, Delano brought that up the other night.
Oh, Delano did that. You know where Delano got that from? D, don't be stealing my takes. You know I've been with saying that.
Yeah, Delano brought that up today too, man. Delano brought that up today too, and you know it's. I like Harrison Barnes. He's always been a good look, man. Harrison Barnes would be a nice fit for this Knicks team. Harrison Barnes, but
his salary is crazy though.
Yeah, he's making $20 million this year and $18 million next year. So yeah, I get it. That's rough.
Yeah, man. So we would have to give up trust matching salaries. Somebody have to go, bro.
Yeah. That's true. Shout out, salute. Hold on 1 second, guys. Shout out and salute to Felix Pizarro. Thank you for tuning in. A word of advice to New York Knicks: can someone other than Kemba Walker learn how to take a charge for the team? Seriously. Yeah, man. I don't know what happened to that type of defense. That's one of the defensive elements we haven't seen a lot from the Knicks this year. We were doing a lot of that last year. We were doing every aspect of defense that you could do: blocks, steals, everything, charges, everything you could do. We were doing it last year. We haven't really done that as a team this year. You're right. I'm sorry, Staff. What were we gonna say?
No. I think it was L was about to say something.
Oh, go ahead, L.
No, I was piggybacking more from what y'all was saying. I was thinking about what Felix had put up, and I was thinking about the charges and and the reasons why we're not seeing a lot of charges being taken from the team. A lot of that is because I think they're letting us play, and a lot of fouls is not being called. And Kemba just sometimes just happen to be in the right position. He's crafty at that. And I think because he know he about to get beat, so he got to think about something to stay in front of his man, you know.
Yeah, you might be right.
I don't want to see him taking charge. I don't want to see him taking charges, though, to tell you the truth. I don't want to see about players taking charges right now. All outside of like RJ, our durable players, but all our fragile players, keep your butts off the ground, boy. I'm sorry. Nerlens don't take no charge. Mitch don't take no charge. You don't need no players getting hurt.
Right. You could take the wrong charge and catch a knee on knee. We don't need Kemba catching a knee on knee. That would be bad, man.
He did against the Boston game. He did.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he caught the knee on knee. I think that was knee and groin. I think he caught it in the groin, but it wasn't good. But yeah, he definitely did catch one.
I know where Phil is going with it though. Yeah, but I don't. It's just the league changed before our eyes, and I like the way the league look now. I like the way I like it. I love it a lot. I love it.
Yeah,
I
agree with you. I'm with you on that. I like it too, man. This is what I want to see. I hope we get a little further away from all the stupidness we've seen the last couple of years. The league trying to figure out ways to make the game more exciting and put these stupid rules in that allow people to travel and all this stuff. Whatever. I just want them to play basketball, man. I get it. That's cool, but let's get back to just playing basketball and allow these teams to really lock in and play that great defense and stuff. That's exciting to me.
Ron, I got a question for you.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
What do you still think about this play-in thing? Do you think it's good for the league, or should it just go back to the traditional way? What's your opinion?
I like it personally. You know why? Because of the way they've done it. I was worried about it at first because I didn't understand it. But I like the fact that you don't lose anything, right? You still, in the end of everything, you still keep the same playoff setup when everything is said and done. This just allows a little bit more action in order to determine that. So when you got 7, is it 7 playing 8, 9 playing 10? Yeah, I think it's 7 playing 8 and 9 playing 10.
Yeah.
But they're only trying to figure out what the position is going to be for 7 and 8. Now, I would feel a little different if it was like, we used to seeing our 8-team playoff structure. Then you add this play-in tournament, and now you're adding 2 more teams to the overall structure. Like if it turned from 8 to 10 after everything was said and done, like you figure out the positioning, then I'd be like, I don't know about all that. But I like the fact it's still, after 9 and 10 play each other, they're fighting to see who's whatever's happening. 7 and 8 play each other. Like depending after all that's said and done, it only means we're gonna figure out who's the 7 team and who's the 8 team. So it doesn't really change anything at the end of thing. It just makes it a little bit more competitive. And I don't care because my team is not gonna be in that mix. I don't think the Knicks ain't gonna be fighting for the play-in. So if they were, then I'd be like, damn, man, now they got to play this team, they got to play that team. I feel a little differently, but it's not affecting us, hopefully. So I'm good with that. Hold on one second. Let me get our man in here. The man, the myth, the legend, the stealer of worldwide L's ideas. DSJ in the building. What's going on, brother?
Yeah, man. Pardon himself. I had to take a phone call when I was jumping on the panel.
Oh, but, please, busy man.
Say what now? Good, bro. Ain't nothing much, man. But hey, just to add on to the conversation that y'all were talking about with the play-in, I think it's beneficial to a circumstance. Like the one thing I used to despise was those teams that maybe had the same record, but maybe because of you didn't have the same level of divisional wins. Like that would have been the thing that knocked you out of a playoff type of situation. So I think that gives it a level of credibility to where, okay, if that one win, we might have the same record, but that one win that you have holds more weight than the record itself. You know what I'm saying? That adds to a level of competition to where, okay, so you're not the true 7 or the true 8 or whatever, you know what I mean? Like I think it gives just another level of competition. Plus it's another time for basketball. So for me, I'm always on board with that anyway. And again, sometimes you just want to see new teams in there. You don't want to see the same old. So it gives it the opportunity. Plus now it gives more reasoning to see these teams fight, because now I don't want to be in that 7th or 8th spot trying to fight for the, for playoff positioning. Or I don't want to be in the 9th or 10th spot trying to find a way to, get this more, have to play more basketball to get into the playoffs. So it ups the level of competition to a degree. So it's beneficial. You can see some of it, as far as a fan standpoint. For the players, they might not like it because it's more time to be on the court, you know what I'm saying? But overall, I think it benefits. I didn't like the idea of the mid-season tournament because I feel like that's just too much basketball. And then it's like, okay, we're going to give you an award for winning that tournament, and you're going to still have to play for the Larry O'Brien trophy. So now it kind of diminishes the opportunity or even the value of the Larry O'Brien.
Right. Yeah. Tricky Nikki, salute. Thanks for joining in. Appreciate you. I agree with that.
Mm-hmm. I like the idea.
I mean, the only bad thing, it's tough, man, because imagine you are a team that has played hard all year. You got yourself into that 7 or 8 spot, or both those two teams got into the 7 and 8 spot. right? And you tackled the rest of the NBA, and maybe your record is even good. Maybe you had like 48 wins, if anything. Maybe that's a possibility. Then you get to that 7 or 8 spot, and then you got to play in this play-in tournament, and then a team that is around the 9th or 10th, the 9th or 10th spot can come in. They didn't play as well as you and knock you off, and now you lost your position. You out the playoff picture. That's rough. So, but I guess that's what the NBA wanted to do to make it a little bit more exciting. To so that way the playoffs is full of whatever is the hottest team at that moment. So it's interesting.
We took that page out of baseball and football. I like it. I mean, because it's like it gives a team who had a slow start and starts to come on towards the end and probably deserve to be up in the maybe 6th or 5th spot, but just injuries or whatever have you derailed their season, allowed them to get to play that game, even when they only finish at the 10th spot, but they're a legitimate 5th or 6th seed, but injuries derailed them from winning the games. It gives that opportunity. It gives the top teams who play hard all year, they get an extra couple of days of rest. That's key. It's almost like them guys getting a couple of days, like a bye week sort of. They get a couple of days extra to rest. So I like it. I think anytime you got to earn something, I'm okay with earning. So I think that's always a good thing. You see how it was last year. Teams got knocked out. Certain teams advanced. Look at the Wizards, for example. That's one team. So it put them in the playoffs, even though they got spanked, but it still put them in the playoffs. And they was on the outside looking in. Was they a legitimate 10 seed? We don't know. But
Right. Even to add on to that, right? Even look at a team like Memphis, who hasn't been in the playoff for such a long period of time, and using that playoff tournament to actually put themselves back in the postseason. You know what I'm saying? And again, unfortunately, after one game, you know what I'm saying, they was out in 5, but still, it's just a matter of that's a stepping stone. You know what I mean? Now here you are with a complete team. You can come in with a sense of confidence and look, we've been to the playoffs. We've seen some level of success, and let's try to keep this momentum going. And like I said, I think it just breeds another level of competition. So it's beneficial to, not only us as fans, but the league as a whole. And also I think too, to certain degrees, a brand. John Morant had a great playoff performance in the play-in tournament against Steph Curry. He had a great game 1 performance against Utah. Now, I'm not saying that's supposed to guarantee anything, but what if those are the type of things that, these brand ambassadors look at for like a shoe deal? You know what I'm saying? He was the ambassador of the Nike Adapt BB Pros. So now here's an opportunity where maybe we'll give you the John Morant ones. You know what I'm saying? Trae Young benefited from, again, doing the same thing. Now look at the fact that he got the Trae 1 kicks coming out, or he got the Trae 1 kicks out now, based on performance. You know what I'm saying? And that really kind of catapulted once he got into the playoffs.
Yeah, no, good take, man. I appreciate you for coming at it with that perspective. I think that makes a lot of sense. This is, it's tough because this whole thing is set up a certain way to kind of bring more excitement and with anything new, with anything that you try to orchestrate as a team, as a unit, as the NBA, whatever it is, you're gonna get the goods and the bads of everything you try to do. And it's definitely it's a work in progress, man. I don't know. We have yet, it was the first year we got to see it last year. We have yet to really see the big level of impact it provides for teams. And if it's that much of a detriment to those teams that have worked hard to get to a certain place in the league throughout the season. for example, Knicks 100 said playing tournament robbed Ja of being a rookie to lead a team to the playoffs. The NBA was fouled for robbing Ja. I mean, it's a point, but the other thing you could say is if the rules change and the league changes, then you adapt to that. Then maybe this year Ja says, you know what, we got to win more games. We got to get to that 6th spot. It gives you something to fight for. Is it perfect? No, it's not perfect. And mind you, the play-in tournament wasn't even what I thought the NBA was going to go to, right now, or at least should I say last year. I thought, because they kept talking about a play-in type style tournament, and they talked about other ideas and different positioning. I didn't know this is what they were going to do. I thought they had mentioned something about repositioning the league and making it like whoever had the best record, throughout the whole league. Remember, they had talked about combining the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference and then going with the top 16 teams, whoever that may be. So it could have been one of those funky things where at the time the West was killing and the East was garbage. So it could have been a bunch of West Coast teams in the mix. And it just turns into, it's not about the East or West anymore. It's just about who's the best 16 with the best record. That was what it was going to be. But I guess they've gone against that, and they figured out the play-in tournament is the best way for right now. So, yeah, it's interesting. You going to say something, Staff? You sound kind of low. I can't really hear you. You're still really low, but I think
Hey,
can anybody else hear him?
Nah, I can't hear him. I can't hear you, Steph. You're still low, bro.
Yeah, you still low, Staff. Like you're really low now. Can't hear you. See if there's anything like if you can adjust your mic or whatever. I hear something rubbing, so maybe it's rubbing against the fabric or something, or whatever it is. See if you can get it together, because right now you sound really, really low, bro. But while Staff works on that, hopefully we can get him and hear him the way we heard him. Just want to give a quick shout out to Jarvis LaFleur. Salute, brother. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure, man. Thank you for tuning in. Feel free to jump in if you want, Jarvis. Tricky Dicky, yeah, hello, Jarvis. Salute, Jarvis. Yeah. So, unfortunately, we weren't able to get my guy John in. Turns out he's, John is he's one of them all around guys, man. He's got his 9 to 5 or whatever, or 9 to whatever, and he's got 4 kids. He's got 2 twins that he just had last year, so he's doing a lot of stuff. And today he's actually at a baseball game for his son. So he was trying to get on from the baseball game, but I guess the signal out there was trash. So it's okay. He's here in spirit through me. Guys, so the question I wanted to ask you, being that you're here, what do you think about the fact that the Knicks are going to be playing back-to-back games for the first time this season? Do you think that there's a chance that we can win? Doesn't matter if it's a back-to-back, or do you think the back-to-back is going to hurt us? Do you think automatically we lose one of these games? So we got the Cavs on Sunday, and we got Philadelphia, which, getting to Philadelphia right after the Cavs on a back-to-back. That's saying something. You guys think we have a chance of winning both these games?
I do.
I think you have to have the mindset that you can win both of these games. I don't think as a competitor you'd ever want to go in there and say, oh, well, as long as we get one of these. Nah, you know what I'm saying? I think everybody wants to have the mindset of coming in there and doing your absolute best and coming out with the win. I think that's paramount more than anything. So I think if anything, I'll be honest that, as far as my initial standpoint, I think sometimes you have to play. I think you should play the lesser teams in back-to-backs. You know what I'm saying? It gives, the opportunity to maybe rest your players. So like playing Cleveland and then turn around and playing Philly. I think that's actually a good. I think that's a good. I think it's a good schedule on the run because Cleveland is still rebuilding. You know what I mean? So in the sense of that, you know what I'm saying, if we can capitalize on their inexperience, then we could, you know what I'm saying, maybe rest our starters and get them ready for the next game going up against Philly.
Right.
So initially, again, you know, I'm okay with something like that. I'd hate for it to be something like you guys got Denver, then you have Utah in the back to back. Like that would be the killer. But to get a team, you know what I'm saying, that's still in rebuild mode, try to, you know what I'm saying, work out their roster in Cleveland. Just again, the biggest thing is don't take them lightly. I think the best thing to do is try to hit them with the knockout blow immediately and let them have to, you know, fight out the deficit as opposed to, you know, we're keeping the game close and then have to turn around and play Philly and now you're playing on tired legs. So you're almost doomed from, you know what I'm saying, opening tip.
Right. Right. That's a good point. Well, being that we are talking about what's going on, Staff, are you back with us? Yeah, it's still you sound a little better than you did before.
Chime in?
Oh, there you go. Nah, I don't know. I think he's still low.
Y'all hear me?
Yeah, we hear you, L.
Oh.
And we hear you, DSJ.
As far as the back-to-back game, we should win both of them. I think we're gonna win both of them. We're a better team than both of them. That's how I just feel we should win. We are a better team than the Philadelphia 76ers. Especially without Ben Simmons. We are a better team. You know,
I agree with that. I agree. John from Still Knick Fan says, I would love for us to come away with the next 2 wins. It's going to be tough, though. Cavs are young but talented, and that 76ers game is their revenge game. Facts. You know how I talk about them revenge games, man. It'd be tough. They be having that circled on their board just like we do, and they be coming out trying to give us the business because they lost already. So, yeah, that's
right.
See,
that's why I give us the win against Philly because of Embiid being a mental case. He want to go out there and feel he have something to prove, and that's when you start forcing up shots. His game and how we play defense, he falls right into what we do. So that's what I mean by our team. We just a better team than them. You know, they need other players outside of the regular players that score to score and have good games in order for them to beat us. All we got to do is just go out there and have our team just play our ball, our style of basketball, and we beat them easily.
Can you hear me now? Am I better?
Oh, there you go. My
perfect.
man, Stafford Don in the building.
We
There
hear
you go.
We hear you, bro.
You remember what you was trying to say?
What was the back-to-backs?
Yeah, the back-to-backs.
Who we played? Cleveland, and then we played Philly.
Philly, yeah.
Oh boy. Man, looky here, man. You got to deal with Sexton and Garland, bro. These 2 speedy guards.
Right.
That's just my concern. Is just the guard play with Kemba, right? I'm not too much concerned with Fournier. But going into the back-to-back, then to play Philly with Maxey, and then having to deal with Seth. Oh boy, we need to take out Cleveland early. We need to take out Cleveland early. That way, we could give Kemba some rest. And to your point, Ron, hopefully we could see the rookies. If we do blow out these cats and give those guys a rest and have those rookies come in and just play spot minutes for about probably the last 4 or 5 minutes of the fourth quarter, so we could give those guys rest, so we could play that back to back.
Right.
But my concern is just how the guards are speedy for our backcourt. But I don't have a problem with us playing back to back. It's just Kemba worries me a little bit, bro.
Man, yeah, I understand that. I hear you on that. I'm with you that I'm just worried. I'm worried about that guard play from the Cavs because they're looking real good. That it's almost like they've gotten new life this year with the fact that they've made these additions to the team, and Evan Mobley has been big for them. I feel like that, you know, Sexton is feeling good about it, Garland's feeling good about it, and they're playing as such. So it's nice to see, you know, from a league standpoint. We just got to see how the Knicks go about dealing with them. I hope they have a good game plan. Hopefully Tibbs, you know, is making his adjustments accordingly. He's a really good coach, and that's for a reason, because he knows how to play in this league, no matter who the opponent is. Just sometimes it doesn't always work. They don't execute, but you know, that's not for lack of trying or lack of having a game plan. Well, speaking of that, I figure, you know, maybe it's time for us to take a look at what the pregame matchups are for this next game against the Cavs. Let me touch on that real quick, fellas. And let's see. So, you know, these may not be necessarily what's going to be the most important things and most important aspects of this matchup. But these are the three matchups that I think are going to be very important. And especially after what I've seen so far, I think they could be the keys to the game for the Knicks. And first off, that's RJ Barrett versus Dean Wade. You know, Dean Wade has been giving them some valuable minutes. He is another person that can stretch the floor for them. I guess he plays, you know, adequate defense. He's nothing. I haven't seen it, but like I said, I'm still getting familiar with some of these other teams in the league, so I don't watch them, you know, too often. I don't know exactly, you know, how they play, you know, overall as a team. But just from bits and pieces, Dean Wade is a guy who he can stretch the floor and give them, you know, some extra 3-point presence, and he plays decent defense. He's got good size for his position. But going up against RJ Barrett should be, you know, one of those guys that takes Dean Wade to school, and he should be a big factor in this game. And I expect him to be out there getting his 20 points, because I feel like that's the new RJ, getting 20 points a night, and affecting the game with assists and his defense and rebounds. I think he could do all of that against Dean Wade. What do you guys think about RJ Barrett versus Dean Wade?
Barbecue chicken.
That says it all, huh? What do you think, DSJ?
I think the only thing that Dean Wade really has over RJ is his height. Him being a 6'9" small forward could be the thing that presents some level of difficulty. Mm-hmm. But as far as his overall game, I think that he's more predicated on the perimeter. So, again, one thing that I like about what we present with the matchup problem for them is the ability to get, you know, wherever we want to on the court. You know what I'm saying? RJ's ability to drive and finish around the rim a little bit better than the last couple of seasons will present them a problem, and I think that they'll have to feature Isaac Okoro more under those circumstances, which leads to foul trouble, or it leads to open shots for somebody like Evan Fournier, and maybe that's the type of thing that'll get him going in this game, since he's been struggling as of late. So we have those issues. When it comes down to the guards like Garland and Sexton, the thing that I look at with them is their level of inconsistency shooting. Mm-hmm. It seems like every season, Sexton has gotten worse from the 3-point shooting aspect, where he started off as a rookie at 41%. He's like now down to like 36%.
Right.
and it's been a gradual decline. It's not like, okay, he's been at 40, 41 and something like that, and just maybe this season. Nah, he's been like consistently dropping down, taking more shots. So I think that can help also, because if Kemba can do anything, once he gets that mid range going, and expands his range, that puts more pressure on Sexton to have to guard up. And I think one thing that I've seen in situations like those is, once you force him to have to D you up, he easily gets in foul trouble. Yeah. So in doing so, strategizing just in that hypothetical aspect, again, all Kemba really has to do is just knock down his shots. The rest of the game, I know that, again, and to Stafford's point, one thing about young Bull is he's a speed guard. He's predicating his offense on speed. But like I said, to his detriment also, he likes to shoot for somebody who's not as consistent as he was earlier in his career, starting out. So we get the benefit of, having to deal with that, I think we'll be okay. But like I said, just initially to the point of the matchup between RJ and Dean Wade. Dean Wade has shown an ability to create problems, but I think that's only because if you're not really paying attention to him, then he can sneak up on you and hit you in the mouth. But I don't think that's going to be the situation with RJ. RJ is really taking the defensive assignment almost personally. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's really trying to make a name for himself in that regard. So I think that we have the benefit in that matchup.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think that's going to be one that the Knicks need to win in order to have a good chance at winning the overall game. Next matchup, this is probably my favorite one, and that's Julius Randle versus Evan Mobley, because I like Evan Mobley. This young kid is special. He's got a nice game for a rookie, and he's still learning how to play out there. So I really like that matchup for Julius. I think Julius is going to have to work, which is good because you want Julius to be active. You want him to stay focused and in the game. And I think on the opposite end, Evan Mobley is going to have to work against Julius, because Julius is coming off of a really solid game against Giannis, feeling good about himself. He's got some rhythm going, the flow, all that's good. And that points well to us. I think Julius Randle wins the matchup versus Evan Mobley, but Evan Mobley is going to make it tough. And Evan Mobley's not going to be matched up with Julius Randle the whole game. So, there could be somebody else guarding Evan, Obi, or whoever it is. And Evan's gonna be out there doing his thing. So he's gonna make us work. But I think overall Julius should be the one that comes out with the better matchup. So and we need that in order for us to have a chance to win this game.
Well, just to piggyback off of that, I'm going again too. Barbecue chicken. I don't think Evan Mobley has the strength to get up with Julius Randle. I believe Julius Randle is going to take him down to the post and hit him a couple elbows, couple shoulder bumps, and he gonna feel that shoulder. And I don't think he gonna hang with Julius. And Julius gonna put. I believe Julius gonna put up another 30-point game tomorrow. So with that being said, I think Julius will win that matchup, and I believe it's gonna be barbecue chicken. I think also Mobley has an outside shot. He's very lanky, so I think Julius is gonna have a little issue, but I don't think it's gonna be a big deal. That's my point on that.
And before I get your take on that matchup, DSJ, just want to give a big shout out to Hard Will. Salute. Thanks for tuning in, brother. Appreciate you. And if I haven't already mentioned it, guys, definitely, salute and check out all of these guys, that have shows and are big contributors Stafford Don is a big contributor and sometimes has his own thing going on with Uncle Freezy on the the Blorange Tears network, as well as Worldwide L and Hard Will. They've got the For Our Love of the Game show on YouTube, which is another great show to check out. And we know the contributions that guys like DSJ and Jarvis LaFleur have made to many of these shows. Appreciate everybody for coming on and helping out and contributing to what we got going on here at Still Knick Fans. So, and I know John feels the same way. So thank you once again. DSJ, what do you think about that Julius Randle versus Evan Mobley matchup?
Well, first off, because Hard Will is in here, and we spoke earlier, wishing him good luck on his games today. He's coaching for a basketball game, so wishing him the best of luck. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, wow.
Hopefully he walks out there with the dub.
Yeah. Hopefully that works out. Hard Will, do your thing out there. Hopefully you get all 4 victories, man, and keep that winning going along with your teams, man. That's you got a full day going on, man. So salute to you, and do your thing out there.
Yeah. Second thing is appreciate the the accolade and all that, but I don't do much. You know what I'm saying? Y'all guys are the stars, and the content makes it easier for people like us to jump on there and share our thoughts and opinions, with not only regularity but with some level of comfort. You know what I'm saying? So salute to you. You know what I'm saying, and all the content creators.
Well, I appreciate those kind words, DSJ. But let me tell you, man, you guys in the chat, like yourself and Jarvis and Be Civilized, Pudge Nice, Knicks 100, Tricky, all these guys, man. I could keep naming. I'm sorry if I missed you. Doesn't mean I'm not thinking about you. There's just so many of y'all that help keep the chat going, which you keep me on my toes. Like sometimes I'll be out here talking. Sometimes I can't think. Like my memory is not the greatest. I got a good short term. My long term is not fantastic. So sometimes I'll be thinking of a name or a guy or something. The chat comes right away with the answers. If I need stats, y'all quick with it, man. Y'all make these shows better because y'all provide that level of insight that as a person who's hosting this stuff, I can't always think of at the given moment, and the contribution you guys make to filling in and giving us that info, or even the questions you ask that help continue and drive the show is great. So I appreciate all of y'all. So go ahead, DSJ. Go ahead. My fault.
No, you good. No, like I said, just want to give props to where they deserved. But to add to answer the question as far as Randle versus the Evan Mobley matchup, Stafford Don is absolutely correct. This is going to be probably the easiest opportunity for Julius Randle to capitalize and overtake Evan Mobley.
Mm-hmm.
He's not really a threat. He can hit the three. He's a perimeter threat, but he shoots it at 15%. So, you know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, my biggest concern and criticism of Randle has always been that one thing, and that's that lack of perimeter defense on his assignments. So, a game like what Laurie Markkinen, pardon himself. Laurie Markkinen had last year when Chicago gave us fits. He was knocking down threes. Cam Johnson, when Phoenix beat us in the first game after we basically had to lead the entire time up until he started hitting those threes, those are Julius Randle's assignments. Again, Tobias Harris, knocking down three-pointers, that's Julius Randle's assignments. So what I need for Julius to do is to step out on that three-point line and guard his man, make it as extremely difficult on the outside as you would make it on the inside, because I think once you take away his ability to guard him on the inside, you're going to tire him out extremely. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get him in foul trouble. They're going to have to throw everything at you because there's nobody who's really able to stay with you. Now, again, like I said, that's only speaking of if Julius Randle's offense, really overshadows everything that Mobley tries to do. But at the same time, you're going to have to play that defense because the last thing you want to do is to be in a position where you trade them buckets.
Right. Right.
So,
That's a fact. Yeah, I agree with you on that, and I think these are, if anything that I could point to and say that these are the two matchups I think we really need to focus on and really need to win. This will keep the game going for us and we'll have the best shot at winning is if we capitalize here. Usually these matchups predictions are about the starters, but the matchup that's not being mentioned is whoever Derrick Rose is going up against. Derrick Rose needs to win that matchup, whoever it is, and 9 times out of 10 that matchup goes to Derrick Rose. So yeah, we need that as well. But I think the next matchup that is important, and I know this is a tough one. They actually have a back and forth that they've had since both of them have been in the league playing against each other. So this is a good one for both of them. And right now, Jarrett Allen is playing really good basketball, and Mitch is still trying to get himself right, get back to what he used to do in the past with the new weight and the new conditioning that he needs to build up. But Mitchell Robinson versus Jarrett Allen is a very important matchup for these Knicks. I think personally, I thought it was going to happen in this game. I thought Mitch was going to be able to capitalize on the height advantage against someone like the Nassus. I know when he goes up against Giannis, that would be a little bit of an issue, but he also had to deal with the Nassus out there, who's a 6'7", small forward, power forward, whatever you want to call him, because he has decent size and he's got big calves and legs, and I guess that helps him out when he's trying to box people out. But Mitch was getting boxed out by smaller guys, him and Grayson Allen. I mean, come on, man. Like, to me, Mitch has got to look at that and it's like, look, I got to do something different. I got to change what I got going on. Whether or not I'm all the way back yet doesn't matter. My positioning has to change. I got to read the ball better off the shots, and I got to make sure that I don't let that happen again, especially against a guy like Jarrett Allen, Evan Mobley, Laurie Markin. Well, Markin is on I think he's on out, but
COVID.
Well, yeah, the protocols, right? Whatever else they're dealing with, they have size out there, because that was one of the weird things about Cleveland in the offseason. Remember, they were getting all these bigs, and we're like, where are they going to put all these bigs? So they got bigs that they can choose from. So that's going to be an issue for Mitch. So I hope he goes out there and does what he needs to do. And I would like to see Mitch get involved on the offensive end a little bit, the lobs or whatever. Give the ball to Mitch and let him do a jump hook. Let's see something. So I don't know what you guys think, staff. What do you think about Mitch versus Jarrett Allen?
Oh boy, this is a big matchup right here because he's going up against probably somebody similar to him, and he wants a contract probably just like what he has too. So Mitch has to go out and do all the dirty work, the rebounds, the offensive rebounds, the block shots. Just keep Jared Allen off the ball because he's a very bouncy dude and he does get up for those rebounds. So it's going to be a big competition for Mitch. It's not like Joel Embiid. It's not like Valanciunas. I think both of them is similar players. They both lanky and long. So it's going to be a battle for the boards for tomorrow with those guys. And I don't really and as far as the matchup, I think it's going to be an even matchup. I think both of them kind of cancel out themselves, but I think rebounding is going to be the key for those two guys. Whoever could battle for the boards and win the rebounding battle, I think that's where um, Mitch could win that matchup because he's way much stronger and more power. But it's going to be a battle for Mitch.
Yeah, nah, It's definitely going to be a battle for him. He's going to have to get out there and work. This ain't going to be one of them games that Mitch can take off. He needs that effort because he's Jared Allen don't play around. Jared Allen is a monster, and he's one of those guys that got that motor that you want. I think I don't know if it was Pudge Nice or Knicks 100. Someone earlier had mentioned that we need more rebounding, and they had threw Kenneth Faried out there. Kenneth Faried used to be that player on Denver. We used to say, man, this guy's motor don't quit. It don't stop. He has since changed over time, and that's the reason why he's not as valuable as he used to be. On the offensive end, his game has changed a lot. He's not that much of a threat. And on the defensive end, he doesn't provide the same level of defense that he did before. He's still a very good rebounder, but when he's not doing those other things, he just wasn't able to really get a lot of minutes to show that because his game has changed over time. That's what happens with NBA players. As you get older, your game changes. And a guy like that who gave so much energy and was like everywhere. It's like a Tasmanian devil, that guy. Over time, that's how life catches up with you. You've done a lot, and Father Time don't stop for nobody. So what do you think about the Mitchell Robinson versus Jared Allen matchup, DSJ?
That'll be the toughest matchup we have because Jared Allen, and to Stafford Don's credit, because his point is spot on. I think the problem with Jared Allen as opposed to with the Embiids and the Valanciunas is those guys are more to the ground centers as opposed to Jared Allen is bouncy. He works around the rim as opposed to working to fight towards the rim, if you understand what I'm saying.
Right. No, I got you.
He reaches over his opponents for rebounds as opposed to out-muscling them all the time. So the rebound matchup might just be as simple as the leverage. You know what I'm saying? He's the type of guy that that ends up tipping the ball to himself as opposed to just being in a better position over you.
Right.
And he has the ability to do that as well. So it's not like, it's one over the other. He can box you out or he can reach out over you. So I kind of fear the throw a little bit, you know what I mean, under those circumstances.
Yeah.
And I think, again, his game has evolved a little bit. You see a little bit more of his offense. I'll be honest, I was seeing a little bit more from his offense at his time with Brooklyn when I can't remember. I think, matter of fact, it was a game against Minnesota. And this is way back when this is when D'Angelo Russell was on the team. And he shot a three-pointer and went in. But the confidence he had in taking that shot was what was scary to me because it was like,
right,
that's not his game or that's not something that we've seen, And the last thing you want to do is now have to worry about somebody who can either A, put it on the floor, shoot the three, and is still the same level of threat in regards to defensively blocking your shot, adjusting your shot around the rim, out rebounding you, and now you're adding another level of offense to his game. Like, that's something to fear from this guy. And the biggest thing for me is, the confidence I have in Mitch is knowing that he's able to guard the perimeter as well as the paint. So it's not like, Jared Allen can have a field day with him, but at the same time, all the things that I've mentioned before, his ability to tip the ball to himself, getting in position for those rebounds, again, just being a bouncy player, on the paint, on the floor, presents a matchup problem. And the last thing we want is for that to be a factor when it comes down to guarding him, where Mitch ends up getting into foul trouble because of those things. He already has that reputation, and it seems like the refs don't want him to forget that. So, I think that's the type of stuff that'll present a problem. But to our benefit, though, even though, we have, that kind of a matchup issue, I think the benefit goes to us because of the fact that we can still throw out an extra body out there in Nerlens Noel, as opposed to what they can do is throw out Taco Fall, who's still slow-footed. You know what I mean? So he's the type of guy where you will either have to battle him out of position, or You know what I'm saying? Once you get a transition going, he's the type of guy that'll be behind the entire time. So any matchups, you know what I'm saying, in a fast break will be to our benefit because that's one guy that can't stay with the pack. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I think we just
And
have the bodies to throw at Jared Allen to make it difficult for him.
let me just say one more thing too. I also think it. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but I think the strength, Mitch's strength, also too, is going to be a factor also too, because he's bigger than Jared Allen, right? So that's why I also give the advantage to Mitch also too, just slightly because of the weight position on the boards. So as I say, it's going to be a battle, and we'll see. We'll see tomorrow.
Yeah. I agree. It's definitely going to be one of those where, you know, Knicks going to have to come and play hard all game once again, man. No games off, man. Don't take any opponent lightly. They're all tough in this new NBA, man. This NBA this year is real. So we've already seen it enough to know, like, you don't need much to learn from. We've seen it enough. Okay, Knicks got to step it up and play every team like they're the rating champions, because if not, you're gonna get beat. You see, I just wanted to shout out the chat once again. Appreciate you as always, Jarvis. You know, salute to you, brother. Once again, thank you for tuning in. Felix Pizarro had a question. Mitch's amazing advantage, but am I alone on this? But does it seem at times the flow of the game moves slower when he's on the floor at times? Yeah, I think for whatever reason right now, being that Mitch is trying to get himself back to where he was, at least close, he definitely the pace seems a little bit slower, and he's not moving up and down the court the way we've used to see him do it in the past. He's given effort for the most part, but he's just, maybe his speed is just not all the way up to par yet, and he might need a bunch of games in order to get right. I thought maybe by 15 games his conditioning would be there, but you know, he might need more than that, because even though he's gained 30 pounds, maybe some of that has to come off. Maybe he needs to drop like five or so pounds as he's getting his conditioning right, just to find that happy balance where he's got the right amount of weight. You know, you can gain weight, but it doesn't mean it's the right weight for your body and for what you're trying to do. So maybe he just needs to kind of get up and down the court, practice, keep doing what he's got to do, and get that conditioning right in order to get back to, you know, a more dangerous, explosive Mitch. So I think it has moved a little slower when he's out there, but you know, and that's probably part of the problem we said with the pace. But it's the Knicks in general. Their pace hasn't been that great, especially in these losses. But last night it looked a lot better. So, and I want to give a salute to my man, Supreme System Lord Chop. What's good? Salute.
Chop with my plate.
Tat face, you know, once again. Still Knicks fans, God bless, bro. Keep up the great work. Let's go, Knicks. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. And Felix Pizarro said, is there a timetable on Taj's return? Actually, Felix, Taj is okay. He's back. He just didn't really play last night. Maybe because you know, we had Noel back and there wasn't much of a need at the time. But you know, he probably could have played. We just didn't get a chance to really see him. So, you know, but he's healthy. On the injury report, the only person that was not healthy was the Luka, I forgot his last name, but the guy who's in the G League that we got from the Spurs, which doesn't affect our NBA squad. So, yeah, but everybody else on the injury report goes, everybody's healthy. Bless up. Be Civilized says we have to play Jared Allen like Giannis played Mitch. Watch out for that lob and the box out as well. Gang rebound. Yeah, I agree. Those are the keys to the game once again. Same thing we did against the Bucks is the same thing we got to do against the Cavaliers. And DSJ, you made a good point. And maybe I'm wrong when I look at it, but maybe he's wrong in thinking that that's going to work for him still. My whole point of watching how Mitch was playing against Grayson Allen and against the Thanasis Antetokounmpo, how he was trying to grab a rebound over them and just use his arms and his length to get it. And you pointed to the fact that Jarrett Allen does that, but and Jarrett Allen's got bounce. And you know what? In Mitch's mind and how he's been playing in this game, that's who he was. So maybe he's still trying to do those same type of principles and same type of tactics. But right now, Mitch's bounce is a little suspect because he's still trying to get it together. So I think he's got to make it a little bit of an adjustment, because maybe you're right, though, that maybe that's how Mitch plays too. But we haven't seen it work effectively because he's just not all the way there.
Yeah, I agree. I think what it is, you got to focus again. As much as we want to see the best of Mitch, we still have to remember that he's recovering from a foot injury that took him out of the latter part of, the season last year, and still hadn't fully recovered up until, basically the preseason of this year. So, there's always going to be some level of concern, not only physically, but mentally. You know what I mean? Step the wrong way, you might hurt yourself. And you know what I'm saying? Somebody steps on your foot, you might hurt yourself. And I know that's
Right.
got to be playing in his mind the entire time, as well as trying to do his job. So, for Mitch, and that's why I always say the most important thing for me is just seeing some level of progression. And he'll have a game where, again, I think the only part is with us as fans where we could see a game where he gets like 13 boards and looks amazing out there, shuts down Embiid, gives him the fits, the blues, and all that. And you expect him to do that all the time. And it's like, well, maybe that day he was feeling good. And maybe he, after that game, it was ice baths. You know what I'm saying? So, I always keep that in mind when talking about players and, especially coming off of injuries. The mentality, the mental makeup has to be there, knowing that they have the confidence to step on the floor and be okay,
Mm-hmm. No, I agree with you there. Yeah, they definitely they gotta stay focused, man. They gotta stay solid. Keep executing the same way. That Knicks team last year was very good at continuing to do the same things night in and night out. This year we, with this new offense and the new additions that we've got, I think maybe we move around from game to game differently. That's not the way we got to play. We got to be consistent. Find what works for us and continue to do that every night or every day against every opponent. We'll have more success if we stay focused on what we're trying to execute and keep doing the same things every night. And be civilized. Said last season was dominant in back-to-backs. We never lost 2 in a row. Hopefully we can continue that stride. Yeah, exactly. I agree with that. At the minimum, you want to get one. You want to get one at least. Hold on one second. All right, Worldwide L's back. What's good, my brother?
Sorry, my brothers. I had a conference call with the boys. I was over there for the love of the game.
Nah, B, I understand. Yeah, you got to do what you got to do, man. We working, man. Trying to provide the best content possible, man. Always working over here doing this stuff.
Yeah. We always working over there. We trying to have fun with everybody.
Yeah.
Try to have fun.
Yeah, exactly. So we just went over the pretty much the matchups for Sunday's game against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Real quick, just wanted to get your take. I'll do a speed round for you. Like I had said, RJ versus Dean Wade. What do you think about that matchup really quickly?
Advantage RJ.
Okay. What about Julius Randle versus Evan Mobley?
Advantage Julius.
Okay. And then Mitchell Robinson versus Jarrett Allen.
They offset each other.
Okay. I hope that's right. I mean, in normal terms, Mitch would offset Jarrett Allen. I don't know if we're going to get normal Mitch, tomorrow night, but I hope we do. I need to see that, man. I need to see, you know, what Mitch can bring to us in the best possible way, man. If listen, we've talked about this already, how we thought how important Mitch would have been for us in that Atlanta series in the playoffs last year. If we get that Mitch that's confident and feels good about his game, going out there affecting the game on the offensive end a little bit and definitely on the defensive end, we start winning these games comfortably. With the addition of what Noel's bringing, the Knicks will really be back to their old ways. And that's what I want to see, man. I want Mitch to succeed. I want the best for this guy, man. So I hope nobody out there as a Knicks fan, you're looking at what I'm saying about Mitch right now and thinking I'm down on him. I'm disappointed in some of the things that I've witnessed, but I think Mitch can still get back to that, and Mitch can be that answer for us. We need Mitch. Mitch is special. Okay, for what he can bring to the game, there's not many guys out there. That's why we want to keep Mitch, and Mitch might still get the bag from us. We just need him to get back to a little bit of his old form. I don't think it's going to come right away. I mean, let's not forget, you know, as fans, we make it seem so easy. You know, Mitch was out since last March. You know, so let's shoot this man some bail. All right, I'm with the Mitch hive. Okay, it's good. No love lost between me and Mitch.
Yeah. But you know what they reference, you know what they call when they talk about Mitchell Robinson, they say one of the elite defenders in the NBA because of what he does overall. You know what he does, like they said, like Brandon Doris Burke was saying last night, is what he does in Nerlens don't show up in the box sheet, don't show up on the box sheet, and that's facts. But that's what we need for this team. So that's why I don't feed too much in it. When people say have their opinion about Mitch, I don't take it as a bashing. You know, I just always ask people to look at the overall. When the ball is on one side of the court, look what's going on the other side of the court. Look at things that's happening that leads up to reasons why a player was able to score on that basket. You know, reason why he was wide open. You know, watch what goes on behind the scenes, and then you'll get a good grasp on what these guys bring to the table. You know, Nerlens, Mitch, what they bring to the table. You need that on this team. You need it. You need it because our guards. You want to ask me about the advantage, the matchup between the guards. Advantage Cleveland.
Yeah. They got the better guard play right now. So it just is what it is. You know, that's how it is. We're gonna have to do what we got to do.
You know where we win the game at, though? Y'all know where we win this game at? The bench. The bench.
Yeah.
See, because they can't play both of them guys for 48 minutes. They got to sit down. You could try to mix match and have one in at one time. It's not going to work against us. This is not the old Knicks, so it's not going to work doing it like that. So unless you go and play them both of them for 48 minutes, it's not going to happen. We win this game. We beat Philly on Monday night. That's it.
You know, El, something that you just off of that, you know what I would love to see in a head-to-head matchup would be Emmanuel Quickley versus Darius Garland. I know that, you know, IQ has been struggling as of late, but that's a matchup I think, you know what I'm saying, I think that would be a real good test for him because to me they have a similar style of play. I think even though IQ is more predicated on the perimeter, Garland isn't the strongest finisher, you know, going at the rim. So I would love to see that matchup and how it plays out on the court if they ever get a chance to go up against each other.
Yeah. I mean, the thing that I like with my IQ lately I've seen is he's at least changed his ability to pick up you know, coast to coast, full court pressure on the guards. So he watches them other guards. That's as soon as they come in the game. That's what McBride did last night, and they pointed that out immediately about him. As soon as he gets to playing time, he's going to be an elite defender. McBride, I'm talking about. The thing I like about IQ lately, his defense has stepped up. And I think that when you're playing good defense and you're struggling offense, it'll help your offense, you know, because you'll get a fast break like he got last night to get the wide open dunk. And then, you know, pretty much
light a little fire, then get into a little rhythm, break a sweat, another good defensive play, make a 3-pointer. You see, so I think it all starts with him from the defensive end is what I'm enjoying from him right now. So yeah, I would like to see that matchup too.
Yeah, I wanna touch on a couple questions. I'll probably be on here for about another 6 minutes or so. Felix Pizarro said, "Do you think we can go on another run and break last year's consecutive winning streak?" Honestly, my opinion. I mean, I'll ask the guys, what they think, but I don't think so, my friend. I don't think we can do that, and it's not because of the Knicks' ability. I think the teams around the league are much better this year. There's a lot more parity, and I don't think it's as easy to beat, some of these teams, in a consistent fashion, like running off 8, 9 games in a row. There's a lot of good teams out there that are playing really good. And then, the other thing about when you go on these streaks, you're giving a solid effort every night, right? But it's taking a lot out of you. Because when the streak starts to happen, you start to think about the streak as a player, and the team wants to keep it going. So you're like, oh man, we can't. You can have a game where you can win 5 games in a row, and that 6th game, that team is starting to give you the business a little bit. No, we gotta buckle down. We gotta play harder, and that takes even more effort out of you because it's not just about winning the game. Now it's about keeping the streak alive. So I think that's going to be tough to kind of maintain that in this NBA right now, in this Eastern Conference, with the way guys are. The way these teams are playing, it's tough to run off that many games. Not saying it can't happen. It's possible. Anything's possible, but I think it'll be really tough for the Knicks to do that and break their little record of what they had last year. What do you guys think?
I agree. I think it'll be extremely. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Stafford.
Oh.
No, I don't think we're gonna go on another win streak like that. I think probably 5 might be the most. But I don't. How much did we reel off last year? Like 9?
9 straight and 10 out of 11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't think we could do that again, bro. No, I don't think so. Not with this offense and this defense, man. No.
Yeah. So what Staff is saying is, because I know he's kind of low. I can barely hear you again. I don't know what happened, but Staff is saying he doesn't necessarily think we can do that again. To run off 9 like that, especially with the offense, the way it's playing right now, it kind of it's not where it needs to be. And then with the defense being a little bit suspect, he just doesn't feel like we can withstand like that type of win streak again, at least at this point. DSJ, you were going to say something?
Yeah, I actually agree. I think it's going to be extremely difficult because, again, right now we don't have the benefit of certain things like the mismatches due to COVID and injuries like we had last season. Also, I just feel like, again, the teams have gotten better overall. Like Miami last year, even though they're the teams that beat us, isn't Miami, isn't the same Miami. Toronto, even though, they're going through their rebuild, is still a tough matchup. There's no team right now immediately in the East where I look at it and say, oh, that's going to be a cakewalk. And the way our schedule is, they've given us a pretty good balance. So I don't think it's going to be as easy to pull off that type of streak. I agree with between 4 and 5 wins, but I think, again, the East is so much better. I don't think any team really has a clear-cut advantage in that circumstance either. I think anybody that's playing is gonna have that level of difficulty. So I agree with you and Stafford that I don't think it's a strong possibility we could do that.
Yeah,
Right.
guys. That's why it's so important to start off with a great start. It's so important because the 5-6 game winning streaks, that's pretty much what good teams is going to do throughout the course of the season. And the Knicks will be around that 5 and 6 games. That 9 game was hard, and it showed that it might have drained us going into the playoffs. But at the same time, we was playing our best basketball going into the playoffs. So it's like, you ride it as far as you can ride it.
Yeah.
nights. 9 games is a lot. It takes a toll because you got to bring it each and every night.
Yep.
Guys,
I agree.
They had back-to-backs. We had to win in that winning streak. That wasn't no easy task. That wasn't an easy task to be able to do that and have some games. And I think they had 3 back-to-backs in that time or something like that, or at least 2 back-to-backs in that 9 games, and they had to win those too. So
yeah, we was on one last year. We was doing it.
So that wasn't easy to do. But yeah, I'm with you guys. The 5 to 6 games, I'm definitely with you on that one because that's what good teams do. That's what good teams do. If we consider ourselves a good team, which I know we are, then that's what you're going to see. You're going to see a lot of games, a lot of spots throughout the season where we win in 5-game winning streaks, 4-game winning streaks, 6-game winning streaks. And in between that time, we may lose 1 or 2 games back to back.
Right. All right. Let me get my man in here. I ain't Uncle Freezy. I don't got the hoopla, the pomp and circumstance, so I can't do it up in a real, fashion the way he deserves. But let me get my man in here real quick. Jay Boogie in the building. Salute. We podcasting now for real.
That's right, man. We podcasting every day, man. When you on, you podcasting, man. When they on, they podcasting. Everybody podcasting, man. Shout out to everybody. My brothers is rocking with you. I see. I got my DSJ. My word YL up there, up in the building. Who else? I see the Don up in the building. Salute to y'all, great man. Salute to the chat. Everybody rocking, that orange and blue, man. Hope everybody healthy and safe this weekend. Enjoy yourself, man. You work hard, you deserve. Take a load off your feet, Enjoy yourself, man. Spend family time, man. But it's a pleasure of mine to be up on this show, Like I said the other day, I can go on and take off the RJ, but you think I'm talking about Barrett and put the R back in front of the on and J in front of the other on and link it up to be Ron and John. You know what I'm saying? Just a little wordplay, Salute to y'all, man. What's happening, man?
Yeah, we good, man. Appreciate you, Jay Boogie, man. Listen, that was good. A good victory last night, man. I think I love the way the Knicks came out and played. And we've been chopping it up for 3 hours now, talking about these Knicks and what they did last night. I'm about to get out of here in a little bit, but I definitely want to get you involved in this and get your take on what you saw from them last night. How you think they played, what they gave us.
I mean, I love what happened. You saw the resurgence, you know what I'm saying? But my thing, don't wait till we lose a couple of games to feel the resurgence. Feel that inside games that we're playing in between quarters, you know what I'm saying? Get relentless and all that during that time and knock people heads off. We know we're more than capable, but we can't just be, be getting up for the big dogs, you know what I'm saying? Because we feel we feel like we got something to prove against them. We got to prove it against everybody in the league, you know what I'm saying? I talk about, the Minister Society, the hunters on. They hunt for us. The ones that feel like they want to, that we over jumped them last year, they hunting at us too, you know what I'm saying? So that's why you got them little small teams, Orlando, Indiana, and them guys, Toronto, you know what I'm saying? Them type guys, they feel like, last year we took a leap over them, you know what I'm saying? So you got to stay hungry each and every night, man. I love what the team did. I love the defense, you know what I'm saying? The energy in the second half, you know what I'm saying? I love what D Rose did. He was special, you know what I'm saying? He had it personally feeling like he wanted to do what he do. And I love what Julius played, you know what I'm saying? I love how we outscored him in the paint. I love what Noel did, you know what I'm saying? I love what everybody, brought to the table last night, you know what I'm saying? It was a well-deserving, you know what I'm saying, complete team victory. But we got to stay of course and keep doing it. I know we got Buck Week coming into town, you know what I'm saying? We can get them Clippers out, cut his hair up, you know what I'm saying, and let him know and get ready to, you know what I'm saying, to take on our first back-to-back night, you know what I'm saying, which is on Monday night. I think we got 12 of those for the season. I want to see us be able to win 8 of those games on back-to-back night series, you know what I'm saying? We got 12 of them. We need to go 8-4 at the worst on back-to-back nights, you know what I'm saying? And that's a good thing, But I'm mapping everything out, and the rest of the season we can go 7-3 throughout every 10 games, you know what I'm saying? And win one of those games on the odd 82, then that put us at 57 wins, you know what I'm saying, like that for the season. And that's a good standing because the East is, you know what I'm saying, it's loaded, you know what I mean? This year it's loaded. Ain't no more talking about the West is the best conference. Nah, it's over here now, you know what I'm saying? And I'm glad glad to be a part of it. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that we back up, we back doing what we got to do, and we're a big, example inside the Eastern Conference all the way around, man. So that's how I feel, man. I'm glad we winning. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna take up too much of your time. You said you're gonna shut it down, but I was happy.
You good.
Yeah, I was happy to see that you locked in. I'm at the bus station waiting on my man, and we get ready to go offload this truck to Greensboro. You know what I'm saying? We trying to keep it moving, man. But God bless you all, man. You got my two brothers over there. They got you, you know what I'm saying? Keep doing what you're doing, man. Stay motivated, man. I like hearing your takes. I like hearing your topics. I like seeing you on the screen, man. You know what I'm saying? It's expanding work right now with the New York Knicks, man. We expanding all the way. Ain't nobody expanding like the New York Knicks in no sport. I don't care if it's football, baseball, basketball, hockey. This is the biggest franchise, and we got the biggest podcasts, and we got the biggest chats it is across the world of sports, man. God bless you all, man.
I agree, Jay Boogie. It's always a pleasure to have you on, man. And you know, when I'm in the presence of guys like you, Stafford Don, Worldwide L, and DSJ, you know, you guys don't understand how comforting and comfortable it makes me feel to be able to talk Knick basketball with you guys around who are all knowledgeable men who have great takes and add, you know, you each add a certain level of understanding and your own opinions to what we got going on in our Knicks community when we're talking about these Knicks. So it makes whatever I'm doing that much easier. I'm just going out here. I'm having fun talking about my favorite team with like-minded individuals. So this is the reason why, you know, we even started this whole thing to begin with. Myself and John, like, we're good friends. We grew up together. You know, we're from the same neighborhood. We chop it up in many different circles about the Knicks. So we got together and said, you know what, let's bring this to YouTube and start talking about it on a bigger scale. And from that, we've got a chance to meet all of you guys and be a part of different networks. And I can't tell you how happy it makes us feel that we're able to still do what we love to do, yet it's reaching more people, be involved in meeting everybody. So it's been great, man. It's been great. I just wanted to touch real quick on what Nicholas Slade said. Nick Slade, appreciate you, man. Salute. He said, don't see the Cavs having the advantage in the backcourt. So you feel like our Knicks are okay in the backcourt, and I'm assuming that you're probably thinking overall, like with Kemba, Fournier, Rose, and Quickly, not just about you know, Kemba and Fournier as the matchup, because that's a tough one for us to consistently win. But I see, if you're talking about our whole backcourt, I agree with you. We're right there with them. We shouldn't have anything to really worry about. So, and appreciate and salute to you. I just wanted to touch on this real quick because while you guys were talking before, you know, Chop had said that y'all think instead of bringing back Noel, should we have gotten Andre Drummond? And I'm going to say, I'll answer that for everybody else if y'all don't mind. No, because I'm looking at what Andre Drummond is doing. Andre Drummond got lead in his feet, man. He can still go out there and get you a rebound here and there. But if you look at his numbers and what he's been doing for Philly, you know, 17 rebounds, 10 rebounds, 9 rebounds, 4 rebounds, 5 rebounds, 15, 5, 10. He's not doing anything that we can't get from Mitch or from Nerlens. So yeah, no, I think that I'm happy with the fact that we got Nerlens Noel. I think overall he gives us more than what Andre Drummond can give us, and we can still push the ball with Noel. Like, Andre Drummond can't run, man, so that slows down our pace and changes the dynamic of the game we're trying to do right now. So yeah, I hope that answers your question, brother. I think I'm gonna say a no to that one. What DSJ says, as far as the winning streak question goes, Jarvis LaFleur thinks we're winning every game. 79-3, right? Yeah. Salute to Stafford Don, who had to get out of here. You know, always a pleasure having you, brother. You know, we need you, man. We need your takes. We need your, you know, what you bring to this community, your content that you work on with Freezy, man. You're a big part of this. So keep doing what you do, bro. Definitely appreciate you. Jay Boogie, you know, I wanted to ask you real quick because I know you've been hinting at it for a minute now. When is that podcast album dropping though? That EP or whatever you call it. When's that whole thing dropping?
I'm gonna drop it on I'm gonna drop it on United Masters somewhere between December 1st and somewhere between the second week.
Okay.
I got to go that way because that's where Steve Stouts is at. So, and Steve Stouts is a part of the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm talking about the Knicks, you know what I'm saying? Of course, I got to go that way because, of course, I got other plans in the future. But that's my lane where I want to go right there. You know what I'm saying? And just, I just want to bring a party groove vibe, you know what I'm saying, about our team. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I said in one of my verses, KD said we ain't cool no more. But tell that to the Barclays when they open the door. You know what I'm saying? I want everybody to know, yeah, we cool, dude. You know what I'm saying? We cool all the way around the board. Ain't nobody dropping no jewels or nothing about the New Jersey Nets and none of that. You know what I'm saying? And we got not only me, other people, you know what I'm saying, dropping jewels, bing, bong, and all types of things, bong to the bing. Everything is happening right now. And I know some more people coming, you know what I'm saying? But for real, my man DSJ, don't sleep on him, man. He got that R&B vibe. I don't know why he ain't dropping the R&B Nick joint, you know what I'm saying? I know he got into him, man. Yeah, I'm putting him on the spot right here. Y'all hear me, America. Talking about my man right there, you know what I'm saying? That's the Sugar Ray Leonard of the podcasters, man. For real, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
I appreciate that, man.
I heard about DSJ. Yeah. You know, who knows? We may have to holler at DSJ. We got something working. We cooking up something right now for us, for our Still Knick fans joint. But you know, maybe the remix. I don't know. Might have to holler at y'all. You know, we got some talent out there in this Knick community. Might have to holler at y'all. So keep that in mind. I'll keep y'all, kind of in the loop of what we're doing. But
you gave me the idea. Yes, you gave me the idea yesterday, real quick. And while I was on the air with you on the other show. Oh yeah, I put down the hook. I put down the hook already. So you told me something yesterday. It's in the making. I'm gonna get at you.
All right, good. Yo, listen, man. This talent we got going on in this Knick community, it's to be cherished and to be honored, man. So. Keep it going. Keep doing what you're doing. DSJ, if you working on something, if you ain't working on something, maybe you should work on something, man. Because from what I hear, you're a talented cat, man. We love to hear good things from you as well, brother.
Appreciate that.
Let me just give you do a little around the horn thing with the last takes. I'm gonna give you my words real quick, and then I guess I'm gonna end it with Jay Boogie because I know Jay Boogie about to be on the road doing his thing. Let me just say real quick. I got you, Jay Boogie. I see that. Let me just say real quick that first off, I appreciate everybody who came through today. Definitely showing that Knick love and joining up and supporting what we got going on. It's definitely a beautiful thing to be able to like I said, be here with like-minded individuals in the chat, on the panel, talking about our Knicks. I appreciate all y'all. I know my man John appreciates all y'all. I'm so sick that he wasn't able to get on because I know he's out there at his son's game and the connection just wasn't good because I know he'd love to be here too. He was really putting out big praises the other day because we were able to go. I was able to go live, and I got a bunch of people on the panel. He was like, "Man, that's great. The next one, I want to get out there, and be a part of it too." And I guess he was trying to do that today, but he's just not in the right circles to get that internet connection. But yeah, definitely appreciate y'all. Big shout out to all of y'all for being a part of this. Shout out to Sim and the MBK Network for working with us and showing us mad love and respect. We are working on something. We're trying to bring better content to y'all for Still Knick fan side and for the MBK side. So once again, I'm gonna mention it this Thursday coming up at 8 p.m. It's a brand new show on the MBK Network. It's called the NBA Report. It's hosted by myself and my co-host John, and we're going to be doing a breakdown of what's going on in the Eastern Conference with some of these other teams that we're not used to following. So, and how it relates to the Knicks. We'll talk about the Knicks as well in that, and we'll give you a couple different takes. We got a little special way that we're doing it, so hopefully y'all like it. Tune in next Thursday at 8 p.m. The NBA Report on the NBK Network. So definitely check us out. And before that, on Monday night, we're going to be filming our regular Still Knick fans recap prediction show, which because I think the Knicks play on Monday night against the Sixers, it's probably going to air on Tuesday night right after the Queen's Court. So look out for that. So once again, thank y'all for being here. I appreciate y'all. And let me go to the next man up. DSJ, anything you want to say? Any final words?
Yeah, I can't wait for Jay Boogie's music to be blasting through MSG while the Knicks are playing. And I'm gonna be in the building for that one. Also, listen, again, I said it earlier and I'm gonna say it again. Salute to you and John. Salute to everybody that, content creator wise, you give us the platform to voice our opinions and thoughts. You give us the lateral ability to have this dialogue. And again, to one of the greatest franchises and fan bases in the world, because outside of this, I don't know any other franchise that has this type of platform with such regularity. So salute to y'all, and of course, I've always said it, no matter what our takes are, whether they differ or they, they're equal in regards to, how we feel. The ultimate goal is the success of the Knicks always. So always keep that in mind. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And overall, hope everybody has a great weekend. I unfortunately will be working, so I won't be able to share in that. But overall,
Let me know what's
again,
up, man. You're always working.
I got you, Jay. But again, just wanting everybody to be safe out there as well. This thing ain't over, so be safe as possible.
Yeah. Appreciate you, DSJ, as always. Before we get to my man Worldwide L, I just want to also a special salute and shout out to Eddie Bravo. Thanks for tuning in and joining up, man. We're about to get out of here, but I appreciate you jumping on, and definitely look for what we got going on in the future, man. We're going to keep giving you that Knick content, and we appreciate your support. Hopefully you like what we got going on, and support all these other content creators that are out here. Some of them coming and passing through my show, and John and I are opening up our platform for as many that we can. So this is a network of our own. The Knick community is a big network, man. We all together. We all as one. We all want that. We all want to be able to see that trophy get raised in the end, man. Salute our Knick team. So definitely salute to you for joining. And Stafford Don, real quick, is going to be later tonight, y'all. Check your YouTube scheduling. Stafford Don will be on the Blorange Tears with Uncle Freezy. So they got the night podcast tonight. So definitely check them out. Stafford Don, salute once again. Worldwide L, what you got going on, man? Oh, and salute to DDS for joining. Salute, brother. Appreciate you.
Salute. This Knick content, like Jay Boogie always say, it shows we must be good people to be this loyal to a fan base. you understand? Jay Boogie always put it that way, and it's that saying holds truth to it. Here it is. I've been coming on the platform for about a year now, and the amount of people and the amount of guys that I met through these platforms, to whereas we got a private chat, and then we all do the holidays, birthdays, ups, highs, lows. We all been in this chat talking to each other. So we not only we became friends, but we became brothers due to credited to these platforms.
Right.
And it's not easy doing this job. We about 2.5 months into it, almost 3 months. And Ron, it's not easy, because you got to really think, and you got to think outside the box, and we all got jobs, and we got lives, and we got wives, and we got kids, and we try to bring dope content. It's not easy. I know, and I salute these platforms. I salute everybody. There's so many I can't name them all, but I salute all of them. You know what I mean? I definitely salute Ron on the Man show. He definitely gave me my leeway to become who I am, and allow me to voice my opinion on his show. And I just want to take my hat off this. It's not easy, but the Knicks is what brings us all together. There is no place like what we got going on, to whereas on a Saturday afternoon we chopping it up for 3 hours. Who does that? Who does that? But we do it.
Right.
We chopped it up. We had a show last night for about 3.5 hours, something like that. Jay Books came through, DSJ, and here it is. I think I went on Smoking Knicks after that. So being on my 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, than going on smoking Knicks and then talking with him. I gotta cut it short. It's my phone ringing. But I love y'all guys.
Appreciate you, brother.
Love you
Appreciate
too,
you.
bro.
Love you too, man.
Hey, Boogie, take us home, man.
You know, as Worldwide L, he elaborated about, you know, about us, you know what I'm saying? We family, you know what I'm saying? And all that there. I'm gonna tell you, just because you see us kicking and building on these podcasts, it don't even stop there. You know what I'm saying? We got one another's phone numbers. We have real off the air, real live conversations, real, you know what I'm saying, development, you know, conversations, you know what I'm saying, about real life, what I might be going through, what somebody else might be going through, you know what I'm saying? We talk to one another outside of this right here. So when you talk about being on here and we be on here, yeah, we don't just stop right here, man. We trying to figure out all types of ways to open up doors, you know what I'm saying, especially for our youth, you know what I'm saying. I try to change, you know what I'm saying, the element of OG. You know what I'm saying? And let people know you can't be an OG to the world, you know what I'm saying, today about things you did in the past, especially if it led people to doing the wrong things. A real OG right now will show you how not to do those things that he went down that path, so you don't go down those ways, you know what I'm saying? So that's what we trying to do, you know what I'm saying, in real life terms. But shout out to everybody rocking with this orange and blue, man. Shout out to my man Ron and his show. I hope you keep prospering doing what you're doing. Thank you, Mr. Sim. That's the Ron O'Neal, the real Superfly, the podcasters, you know what I'm saying? Thank you for everything that, you know what I'm saying, that you don't presented to us as a Knicks fan, you know what I'm saying, to help raise and bring us up in your ways of life, you know what I'm saying? Thank you to you, you know what I'm saying? Thank you to Tony Crow. Thank you to the First Lady, Miss Stephanie. Thank you to my youngest uncle, Uncle Fulio, you know what I'm saying? Thank you to Mr. Andy, that whole vibe, that whole network that, you know what I'm saying, that MBK got going on. And we all children of that too, you know what I'm saying? Any podcast is somewhere else. If you got your own podcast, best believe you're a child of another podcast, because we all a big family, you know what I'm saying? And that's further than just basketball, man. But God bless to everybody. I hope everybody continues staying healthy and safe. Fathers, you know, love your kids. Mothers, love your kids. Husbands, love your wives. Wives, love your husbands. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you keep that family solidified. Don't let nothing else could, you know, come through that. And just know that that thing is out there. You see what happened, you know what I'm saying, with AR, but I ain't going to elaborate on that. That thing is out there. You don't know who got it, who had it, no what. So make sure you protect yourself, you know what I'm saying, no matter what, by any means, you know what I'm saying. Think about you and your family first, man. God bless you all in the chat, everybody. 3 capital S's, salute, salute, salute. And shout out to my man just walked in the door. But I'm going to crank this truck up and I'm going to get down to Greensboro and I'm going to holler at y'all, man. Y'all have a safe and blessful day, man. God bless.
All right,
Thank
stay
you,
safe
Jay
out there,
Boogie.
bro.
Yo, what you supposed to do after that, Jarvis? How you go? How you come in after that, man?
Well, the good thing about it is I didn't have any major expectations of what to come in on or after or anything of that nature. But what I did want to do is come in for a moment. I'm still kind of recovering from a little sinus infection, but I am getting a lot better. Thank the Lord for that. But I just wanted to just say salute to the chat, salute to everybody. Ron, love what you got going on, fam. You're doing a great job, great content as always. Shout out to my guy DSJ over there, and I owe you for that statement you put up in the chat. DSJ. I'm optimistic, but I ain't that optimistic.
You got it, brother.
But I wanted to show you a little love, Ron. And shout out to John, who wasn't able to be on the panel today. But good stuff. I'm looking for a win in Cleveland, but this will be a challenge so far. There's the back-to-back situation. I want to see how we respond with that test. I am big on litmus tests, Ron, and I welcome every aspect of how we've been tested so far. I welcome that, because if we can get other tape, other things that we can look at, see how to improve, other adjustments that we can make, I think it'll bode well going forward into the season. And I will welcome all this stuff happening now. And hopefully this year that we peak at the right time instead of peaking early like we did last year. So right. I'm looking for some good things going forward. We still got some things to improve on, some other things, some adjustments to make. But overall, as long as the effort is there, long as we're not taking the gas off, if we ahead of teams and taking that for granted because we got leads that in this league you got to keep playing. You know, even though other teams may not be up to par to the elite teams, these are still professionals. And any given night, anybody can win. So you can't take any game for granted. You got to go up in there with your hard hat and your lunch pail and take care of business. So hopefully this win sparks something different in our team. It also hopefully it gets IQ going, but sparks something different in our team to where we're starting to round off more into what we're going to be. I still think we need about 15, 20 games to kind of really overall assess that. But I see some good things. The good thing about it is
I think we may be losing Jarvis. Might have hit a bad patch. Hopefully he can come back to us in a couple seconds or so. Yeah, man, because I do got to get out of here. But I salute Jarvis. There he is.
Hopefully that continues on a positive trajectory. So I'm not.
Yeah, I think we're losing him again. Maybe it'll clean up again. Give it a couple seconds, but yeah, man. Thank you for all that have tuned in. I know at this late hour we've been running for a little over 3 hours and almost 3 hours and a half. So if you just joining in now and you want to see some good Knick content, hopefully you feel it's good. Definitely watch the rewatch of this. I'll give you one more second, Jarvis. Give me 1 second.
No.
Definitely, start from the beginning, get your rewatch on. If you feel like it's a little longer than you'd like to see, it is we went long today, man. But so pause. But definitely take a look at it and kind of skim through. You can skim through certain things that happen. We talked about the momentum changers of the games. We talked about we did the pregame matchups, and we took a look at kind of what was going on with the Knicks team and how we're about to face our first back-to-back between we got the Cavs on Sunday night, and then we've got the Philadelphia 76ers the next night, and then we got these great guys that have given us the time to be on the panel and talk Knicks. So definitely you can skim through certain parts and kind of just make your own podcast. You chop it up, make an hour out of it, whatever you want to do. But there's definitely some good content here. I appreciate everybody once again. Thank you for tuning in. And Jarvis, go ahead, continue, my man.
Yeah, no, I was basically coming to a close. I was just hopefully that the rest translates to a positive trajectory that I think that we on. I think a win like the Milwaukee game, I think could be like a turning point type of win. Still some things to clean up, still some things to get better at. But overall, as long as we continue to bring effort, energy, play with a sense of urgency, and focusing on trying to make sure that we play some kind of team defense going forward, controlling the boards or what have you, and just overall playing with passion, sense of urgency, man. Really showing some grit and grind. But I'm liking the fight that I see with this team so far. But we'll see. Hopefully we can get Evan Fournier going a little more consistently. Kemba is going to be ways until possibly I think the knee might not be quite as strong or quite as ready just yet. But it be certain ways to where we can kind of hide him a little bit, and kind of similar to like some of the things that was done last night, because I think he played like 15 minutes last night.
Yeah.
I think that's a good projector where he is projected whenever he does come in, that he understands that, hey man, I'm looking to get buckets, what have you. So it doesn't seem like it's as much of a detriment on the defensive end as he had.
Right.
As long as if this can get IQ going, because I love IQ's intensity on defense. He was very active defensively last night, and if we can get that more consistently, plus with the effort D Rose I was putting in, I'm kind of leery about having to rely on a 33-year-old point guard, but it is still a great luxury to have somebody like D Rose. But if we can get that from the other role players, the overall effort like we played last night, and continue with good ball movement, I think we could make some noise.
No, Hey man, I agree with you. I agree with you. That's the overall goal, man. Just to get out
Yeah.
there, play good basketball on both ends of the court, and consistently get these wins, man, and keep it going, man. Get back to the winning principles of last year's Knick team, and just take it forward and extend that into this year, and go from there. I want to thank everybody once again for tuning in. Thank you to the chat holding me down. I appreciate y'all. Once again, a big salute to the panel. I had an all-star panel today with DSJ, with my man Stafford Don, with Worldwide LJ Boogie and the fam, and my man Jarvis jumping in and giving us a little love at the end here, man. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. Thank you all for tuning in. Salute once again to all of us, Knick Nation. We got a big victory last night, should I say, and hopefully we get a couple more in these next couple games to kind of, keep us on the right track. I always feel like if you get a losing streak, no matter how big it is, you want to go out there and turn that losing to wins and get that same type of streak going forward, so you kind of cancel out whatever bad happens. So hopefully they can do that. They can win these next two, so that losing streak is a thing of the past. And we go from there. Big victory once again. I'm looking forward to tomorrow night's game. Salute Knick Nation. Thank you, everybody. Y'all have a great Saturday. Be out there loving on yourselves with your loved ones, and enjoy yourselves. And remember, no matter what happens, it's always going to be another day, going to be another game. So it's a long season, 82 games, man. We'll be all right. All right. Take it easy. I will catch y'all on the next one. Salute once again, Jarvis. Have a great day. DSJ, appreciate you, man.